Oh, it's a late night. Bienvenidos, everybody. Welcome to Cinco de Mayo.
Arriba!
Tagline.
Whee!
Let's get this show going. I'm just going to play the video. How about that?
Yeah, no more racism.
What? No! What's going on, everybody? What a way to start this off. We are the Cinefanatics. Welcome to the tagline, the show where the tagline is the title. That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh, it is already toasty and warm. Are you sure you turned that AC down?
I turned the AC down. I fed the cat. I did everything that I absolutely needed to do beforehand, which is why we're almost 50 minutes late starting this.
50?
Oh, okay, 5. Maybe I exaggerated just a teeny bit.
By like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I
Anyways,
can math.
like I said, how's everyone doing tonight? Happy Cinco de Mayo to all y'all. Much like our, what was it, St. Patrick's Day stream where we were enjoying some Irish whiskey and some Guinness, I have made us some homemade margaritas, and I probably have to say this is my best yet.
This isn't bad. This is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Needs to water down some more because, oh, man, all that college memories of that tequila is coming back, and I didn't even go to college. So.
That's a solid tequila flavor right there.
Yeah, it just tastes like long nights studying and regret.
Mostly regret. There's no studying happening, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So we got it's a fantastic Cinco de Mayo episode that after
Cinco de Mayo we're gonna have.
after this point, there's no more reference to Cinco de Mayo. Well, we'll be sipping on that, so there's a little bit.
Yeah, but there's not really anything I guess Mexican stories, Hispanic stories. Mexico didn't beat France again. I mean, for those of y'all not familiar with the history of Cinco de Mayo, it was when Mexico defeated France at the Battle of Puebla in 1862. It is not Mexico Independence Day. That would be 16 de Septembre, which, for those of you who don't speak French, is the 16th of September.
Ladies and gentlemen, somebody's been on Wikipedia
Today. Because I had to make a Twitter post earlier because I saw this thing that was like the list of the dumbest things that people have Googled about Cinco de Mayo.
My chair's really low.
And one of them was no, Cinco de Mayo does not have anything to do with mayonnaise. So that's why I put on my Twitter. I was like, today is the day that we celebrate the 5th jar of Hispanic mayonnaise crossing the threshold into our house.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Yeah, God.
No, Patrick, horseradish isn't an instrument either.
But SpongeBob. Anyways, now that we got the silliness out of the way.
Nope.
We'll keep it going throughout this. If y'all have any questions for us, make sure to drop those questions into the chat. Speaking of the chat, let's drop in real quick. We got, right from the beginning, we got Tyler, Kelsey, Danny, Garth, more Tyler, Tyler again, more Garth. We got Jake Iacovetta and Danny again. Did I miss anyone?
We got
Kelsey.
You got the usual suspects.
I got everyone. Well, except Kevin Spacey. He's not allowed on our streams. But we do love the usual suspects. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank y'all for being in the chat. Thank y'all for supporting us. If y'all have questions, again, throw those questions in the chat. You can also send those questions to the Streamlabs link, which is above his head. There's also the super chat that I believe is available on YouTube. So you can also send questions that way as well. Last week, we started up our Patreon. So we've had the Patreon going for about a week now, and it's been doing pretty well, I would say.
And I haven't made a dang social media post about it yet. Whoops.
Whoopsies. Anyways, for those of y'all who like...
Garth caught it.
Yeah. Nah, he does. Pitch meeting, fantastic. Anyways, I know, we got to still reference it. I like his humor. Anyways, go check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/cinefanatics.
Drinking game. Every time he says, anyways, take a sip.
Oh, no. Especially because there's tequila in that glass. No, that's not a good idea.
It's a small sip. Because I will run out of drink. No.
Hey, Beavis.
Nice.
Anyway, so go hop on our Patreon, join the tier that's right for you. We will probably call out some patrons at the end of this. Towards the end of the stream, so
sure.
I believe that's something that we need to do. Again, we're all new at this Patreon thing, so we would like to congratulate you and thank you for following us. If you would like to hop on the Patreon as well, we'll shout you out as also.
I gotta be honest, I just freaked out a little bit because I was watching something on my laptop here before we started. And for some reason, YouTube has a glitch that when you're watching a video and then you switch over to one that's a live stream that doesn't have any comments prepared yet, it just has the chat.
Yeah.
It still has the comments from the last video I was watching. Which in this case is a video that contained 1,181 comments, which freaked me out because we just started this and I was like, there's no way we have 1,181 comments.
Thank y'all in the comments section.
On a live stream that you can't even comment on yet.
Oh, yeah. So real quick, Garth is like, I don't drink, so put my jar of mayo in the kitchen sink. And then he says, last week there was talk about so much blue in the graphics and curtains. So this week, Chris ups it a notch wearing a blue shirt.
Ooh, that's a big 10-0 there, Garth. That's a purple shirt.
Yeah,
it might look it might look blue on the camera, but
given the lights, I mean that is adequately controlled by the lights and how we set up everything.
To be fair, some people get that. To be fair, there's a reason why I don't wear a blue shirt whenever we do these.
Yeah, because then that would be way too much blue. I feel like Eiffel 65.
I only wear it on the couch. I don't wear it during the taglines. But hey, you didn't tune in tonight to find out about my clothing choices.
Yeah, black shirt.
It's
always a black shirt.
It's all Old Navy and American Eagle.
Yeah, it's always a black shirt that probably has a Nike logo.
Same 10 shirts on rotation.
Yeah, pretty much. The other thing I wanted to mention real quick is we're both sick still.
Speak for yourself.
That'll be for the rest of the year at this point.
Yeah. No, we both have a little cough still, but nothing. That's just the remnants. It's nothing bad.
A little thing dangling in the throat. It's called a uvula.
It's called a what?
Uvula.
It's called a what?
Uvula. I'm gonna say it like change a little bit of emphasis every single time I say that word, so it doesn't sound exactly the same every time I say it.
It's called a uvula.
Uvula.
Uvable?
Oh, no. That would have to have it removed from my body.
Garth wants to make me a floating head. Hey, if you can do that, I'm cool with it.
We need to get him like an all green, like green curtain, green shirt, and just do like the.
We got the green curtain.
What is that? Scrubs, the floating head doctor.
Floating head doctor.
Fellow familiar, Scrubs, great show. Rest in peace, Sam Lloyd. Was it nephew?
You reminded me of that.
Well, he was nephew of Christopher Lloyd. He was the lawyer on.
He
Scrubs.
wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Just recently passed away. So
that's not fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything, Ted. I mean that sincerely.
Mm-hmm. The other thing I want to plug real quick is this coming Thursday.
Oh, yeah. We're doing a thing. Are we doing that now? We're plugging that now?
Yeah, we can plug that now.
Okay.
We'll probably plug it again later. Mention it again. But this coming
Are we going to really plug it later, or are we just plugging it now?
Well, we're plugging it now.
Okay.
This coming Thursday, we will be on Video Drew's YouTube channel doing Her and Nerd Chronic.
Video DrewTube.
The video is actually called Video Chronic. So one of their infamous pop culture quizzes. It will be the two of us going head to head on Infinity War and Endgame trivia. It's going to be 40 questions. It's going to be brother versus brother. And
just like the Avengers, there will be a civil war.
Yeah. And he's going to lose on camera, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. And I can't wait for it.
You say that now, but you're going to get your hiney smacked in that.
Yeah, so I believe I'm probably not going to trust the word of someone who has a bathroom connected to his bedroom.
Yeah, but at least mine's clean. You should probably go fix yours up.
Oh, funny. At least I'm not drinking day-old margarita over there.
I got nothing. You made it.
Oh, fantastic. By the way, your mama was so nice to you, she was nice to me also, because it's the same mom.
Same. She could be watching. She's probably not. She's not watching.
She's probably not watching. She probably appreciates the compliment. Yeah, that she was a nice mom.
I would laugh if she actually this is the first one she actually turns on later, and she's like, "How dare you, boys? You don't mention me."
Well, anyways, I will be calling your mom later.
Not tonight. She's already asleep.
She's already asleep, probably. Anyways, that's the high quality trash talking you're gonna see on Video Chronics.
Can we get one of those freeze frames?
The Rocky 3 freeze frame ending? Yeah.
Okay, don't play along. Okay.
Why am I doing Home Alone?
I don't know. Apparently, late to the party says you got an echo. Echo. So
Again. Okay, so I changed out the. Let's see if this works again.
You say you got a new cord? It's OBS. It's in the OBS. We gotta fix that.
Which is strange because yours doesn't have that issue, so I don't know why it's doing that.
My microphone likes me.
Anyways, again, apparently this was an issue last week that there was a lot of echo. So the second y'all hear any kind of echo, flag us in the chat. Let us know so I can do what I just did, and hopefully that fixed it again because that was working last week.
Wave that flag.
Robert Echo Adams. That's awesome.
Can I be Chris Fives Adams?
Real quick, I want to go back up. Brian Nussbaum in the chat was like, "Can we get Chris as Zombie the Genie?" That is a fantastic reference.
What?
You're not gonna get it.
Okay. Well, it's like I feel like I should know that.
It is from Pee-wee's Playhouse. I absolutely love Pee-wee's Playhouse on Saturday mornings. So.
Make one of those references last week. The word of the day is uvula.
Yeah, apparently.
Or anyway. Every time he says anyway, everybody's screaming at home.
Anyway. God, just blow out the microphone there. Jeez.
Mic is better. Don't worry, it will echo again at some point during this stream.
Yeah, just let me know. Flag me down. Wave an arm. I won't see it because you're not on camera like I am.
Robert's favorite video game is Echo the Dolphin. That's hilarious.
Oh, I did not like that game.
That is hilarious.
Now, what's funny, though, is I did like the Jaws Nintendo game, which that was weird.
Can you do a dolphin noise?
That's going to get clipped out. Nerd Chronic Eric is going to find that. He's going to clip that out, and that'll be on a Schmoedown promo at some point.
Mix that with
Well, that's just SpongeBob, so.
Hey, Patrick.
So one of the things we started doing last week, and I definitely want to do it again this week because
because I got some stuff to talk about, even though it's not actually going to be the direct answer to your question that you're going to ask.
Okay, so over this past week, what movies did you get to indulge in?
Didn't watch a movie. I finished Clone Wars though.
So
gotta mention that, even though this is a movie channel.
I think I'm still stuck on like season 1 of Clone Wars.
You need.
I gotta.
You need to watch the entire series.
Yeah, maybe if I get like quarantined for like 2 weeks or so, then I can probably bang that out. I don't know.
You mean if you don't have to go to your essential job?
Yeah.
No.
So for me, I know.
Mention yours, and then I'll talk about mine.
Oh, okay. I caught up with. I watched David Cronenberg's Rabid.
Oh, I don't care.
Yeah, it's not a movie you're gonna want to watch, but it's one of his early movies. And again, David Cronenberg, big like body horror type of person. It was pretty good.
I like my bodies to not be horror.
Yeah, probably not.
Which is why I don't look in the mirror.
And then one that I absolutely love. That was nice. Ew.
Nice. Self-imposed insults.
Yep.
There's an actual term for that, and I can't remember what it is right now.
Self-deprecating.
That's it. You got. Oh, good job with the words. I'm impressed.
Yeah, you should be. Your mom gave them to me. Anyways, the one movie that I really did like was Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh, nice.
It's a 3-hour-long movie.
Ooh.
It is fantastic, and there's definitely some songs in there that you're familiar with.
That's a good catch-up.
But I absolutely love that, and I like musicals. So the lead guy Topol, who plays
Chico?
No, his name. Well, his name's like Shame Topol. It's a very Jewish sounding name.
Uvula?
Yeah. Well, I mean, not like that, but this movie does take place in like a small Jewish community in Russia.
Oh,
fantastic movie. Absolutely love it. If you like musicals, highly recommend it.
That might be one of those I need to see too. Still,
there's a couple of songs in there you're going to recognize, especially if you're a fan of Gwen Stefani. And then American.
Somebody
Graffiti.
walking through a spider web or something?
No, it's
Is that movie Bananas? Bananas?
No.
Oh.
But if she was a rich girl, na 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 na. That's where it came from. If I was a rich man.
Nice.
And then like Brian Nussbaum's pointing out, the Matchmaker song is in there. Matchmaker,
yep.
Matchmaker. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really good.
Nice.
Oh, Topol was also in Flash. Flash Gordon.
Mr. Sam Jones. Oh, this isn't called action.
Yeah. Wow. Anyways, I do want to say hi to Late to the Party because I know they're in here and they were the ones talking about
Robert and Vanessa. I love watching their stuff. Actually, speaking of Clone Wars, every new episode I've been watching their reaction essentially too, just because I enjoy identifying with them or relating with them because they all react to they react to the episodes the same way I have been.
Yeah, everyone reacts. We react. You react.
Yeah, we're reactors.
Yeah, we're reacting.
We're reacting. Clone Wars ended. Oh my gosh. And again, I know we're a movie channel, and I'm not talking about the Clone Wars movie because that did not start everybody off on the right foot, but man, did the series end on that right foot. Oof.
Yeah.
You still need to catch up, but that ending was super powerful. It was really great way to, just because of how they tied it back in with Revenge of the Sith and everything too.
Well, speaking of Star Wars, the other movie that I caught up on was American Graffiti, which was George Lucas.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how many people catch that?
Completely different from Star Wars.
Of course.
Other than Han Solo was still in it.
Sure.
Yeah, Harrison Ford was in American Graffiti. Apparently a last-minute hire for American Graffiti, and then that's what helped make George Lucas want to put him in Star Wars when Burt Reynolds wasn't able to play.
Speaking of Star Wars, I can't wait for Ahsoka to get her own show. Oh my gosh, I need that so bad. My question is, I wonder if Rosario Dawson can do a really good Ashley Eckstein impression. Because that's going to be a little jarring. Just a little bit.
Just a touch.
Just a smidge.
So that was what I watched this past week. What did you catch up on?
Just Clone Wars.
Just Clone Wars? No other movies?
Nope.
You're not rewatching Infinity War and Endgame again because you should have.
I did do that. Did I do that this last week though? I did.
Because you talked about that last week.
Yeah. I did rewatch both of those again. But
you should probably rewatch them again.
I'm not gonna rewatch them again.
Because there's no way you're gonna win that.
6 hours of movie, essentially.
You know what? That winners will watch 6 hours of movie.
I did already.
Yeah, winners will watch it again.
I did, like a couple days ago. It's fine.
Okay.
I don't need to watch it again. You're going down.
Okay, if you say so. Anyways, that's the movies watched. Otherwise, personally, everything going good still?
Pretty all right.
You haven't seemed to be as sick as like you were before.
No, so. I'm still clearing stuff out. That's about as clean as I'm gonna say that.
Basically, we've bought stock in Mucinex.
Yeah, we bought stock in Mucinex. So other than that, feel pretty good. Voices there. I don't feel. You got those every now and then, but other than that, we're good. So let's talk some stuff.
Yeah.
While I drink, because it's Cinco de Mayo.
That's the Cinco de Mayo reference.
And I'm white.
Okay.
Can we shout out real quick? We got a new patron.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, Miss Kelsey Kirkland.
Ooh, awesome.
Jumped on the Patreon there, so thank you so much, Kelsey. Welcome to whatever we're calling this group of people who are crazy and decide to support us.
We need to figure out, like,
we're all cinefanatics.
Yeah, we're not going to salute our patrons here because that's just not our thing, but I want to do, like...
We're saluting in our hearts.
I actually kind of want to do the wave from... Spaceballs that President Screw does. The only problem though is that's more of like it's kind of like the old style like FU gesture.
Yeah, let's not do
that. We salute our patrons. We're not saluting, but we thank our patrons. Like I
don't know about that one.
We'll think of something else. We'll brainstorm this. We'll get back to y'all next week.
Probably not.
That's our cliffhanger for next week. How are we going to do this?
We're going to completely forget about it, and we're not going to say anything next week about it.
Until we start talking about our patrons again. They'll be like, oh, yeah.
That's right. Just like how every week I keep forgetting to set up PayPal for the Streamlabs.
Yeah.
Never do it.
That's just a running gag at this point.
Never going to happen.
Next week, Chris and Robert test their blood drops in Petri dishes to see if they're infected by alien life.
Don't need to do that? I am.
Yeah, probably. He doesn't get the reference, Garth, but... I do like that reference. It's pretty good.
I don't get most references.
He will watch that movie one day.
Is that thing?
Yeah, as soon as Christian Harloff does.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it with Christian whenever he does the watch along.
Aw, thank you, Kelsey, for saluting us anyways. Anyways, what's going on with news? With space news, apparently.
Yeah, everything is like space themed except for like a couple things. So not everything is space themed.
Ooh, that was a big swallow. Oh.
Phrasing.
Yeah, apparently.
Those are all my passwords. Let's not do that.
Alligator 3.
Yeah, got it. Oh, rest in peace, Ted.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That sounds like the passcode that some idiot would have on his luggage.
So actually, I'll start with the first one. Let's talk about that. The Hercules. Hercules is happening at Disney.
Hercules.
Not that Hercules.
Oh.
The live action of the original animated Disney Hercules.
Dude, if they don't get Eddie Murphy in there doing like Hercules, that would be that's great.
Who would Eddie Murphy play? Ooh, could he play Phil?
No, that's gonna be one of those. So here's the thing.
You can't bring Danny DeVito back. He's getting too old. He's getting too old.
Yeah, but makeup and
He's
like,
getting too
they're gonna
old.
shrink him down.
Did you hear his voice in the second Jumanji or third Jumanji, whatever?
No, I hadn't seen that yet.
Yeah. Well, did you hear his voice in the trailer for it?
I don't recall.
Hey, Spencer.
SpongeBob.
Spencer.
Oh.
You guys here for Spencer?
Yeah.
That really hurts. I can't do that.
I don't know. So they're gonna make a live action Hercules, which Hercules was one of my favorite Disney cartoons.
Oh yeah, that's great.
I mean, I loved Aladdin, I love Lion King, but Hercules was really good because unlike those other ones that I just mentioned, Hercules was almost like just pure slapstick.
Yeah, pretty much.
There was a solid story in there, but
Look, when you cast Bobcat Goldthwait, what do you want?
oh, Pain and Panic. It's more like a drunk Grover.
That was Pee-wee.
Yeah. It was also was it Max and Fly the Navigator?
Yeah.
See you later, Navigator. So yeah, they're gonna do a live action version of this, and I'm kind of eager for that. If they gotta keep the same kind of humor though.
Here's the thing about these live action Disney movies though. They are very like hit or miss. A lot of them have been a more of a miss in my opinion. Some of them have been just okay.
And some of them we're still waiting on, like Mulan.
Mulan, we're still expecting to actually be good if we ever get to see it.
Yeah.
So there's aspect. I mean, you look at Lion King. We were expecting Lion King to be great, and then it turns out it's no different really than the original animated, except for the fact that they are emotionless in their faces, which actually made it worse in my opinion.
Yeah, you don't have that since real animals don't emote.
Yeah.
You didn't have that. Although I will still, I still argue that the beginning, the Circle of Life, was gorgeous in that live action.
That's because that was the only shot in the movie that actually was live action. Was just the sunrise.
Well, I mean,
Or
but,
sunset,
the whole song and everything,
Yeah.
just the opening still was fantastic.
Yeah.
Very well done. The rest of the movie, go back and watch the cartoon.
The thing is, I'm actually at this point, I'm really just on board with the idea of an Atlantis remake, which I believe I've heard rumor that they're actually working on, and they are looking at putting Tom Holland in the role of Milo, which is great as long as they get Zendaya in the role of what's her face in the movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen Atlantis, so.
Oh, gasp. No, it's good. It's actually, that's one of the ones that definitely deserves to have a live action treatment to it. So
if they were doing a live action Hercules, who should be playing him?
there's a couple choices that I was thinking about for the actual role of Hercules, where you have either Chris Pratt or you have Armie Hammer. Those I think are the two best choices for Hercules.
Which I kind of like both now. Going back on the fact that if I remember correctly, isn't this like they're looking at getting this done by the Russo brothers? I know that was a weird way of me wording that, but it's
getting done.
It's getting done by the Russo brothers.
The Russo brothers are done doing it.
Disney's hoping to get the Russo brothers on board to direct this.
Which at this point they can do anything they want, and I'm game.
So if they do get
Endgame.
if they get the Russo brothers, that will probably solidify getting Chris Pratt.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. The other one would be Meg. Which, well, first of all, let's do yours. Who are you thinking? You thinking Chris Pratt also?
Yeah, I mean, I believe I saw that where someone else was saying Chris Pratt or Armie Hammer, because I mean it makes sense for either one.
Armie Hammer looks like him. Chris Pratt can look like him, and I think can hold the comedy and action aspect of Hercules pretty well.
Yeah.
Meg, I'm thinking Anna Kendrick.
Yeah, because she could get that sarcastic,
very sassy.
Yeah, I could possibly see that. Also going on here, Brian Nussbaum, he's saying Zendaya.
But with Chris Pratt, that one throws me off a little bit just because of the immense age difference.
There's going to be like what, a 10, like
almost 15
year difference, maybe.
I think so.
Possibly.
Phil, he's still got Danny DeVito. Hades, Jeff Goldblum. That's an interesting one. I don't know physical embodiment if they could really portray him looking like Hades, or if they're gonna have to do some CGI work.
I could see him like as far as doing like the voice potentially.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is Hades definitely had a very deadpan, like James Woods voice.
It's because it was James Woods.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it was the bare simple James Woods flat. No.
Ooh, Garth makes a good point. Karen Gillan as Meg. That's a really good choice.
Oh yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
I think I actually like that better than Anna Kendrick, to be honest.
Yeah, because she could definitely do that sarcasm.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Plus, I think she actually looks a little bit more like her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Zeus, John Goodman. All right.
I would almost. Here's the thing, and I know this is going to be really weird. I would actually probably say Zeus. I would probably cast Liam Neeson, which I know he was Zeus already.
It's a little too on the nose.
But this is a completely different Zeus.
It's a little too on the nose.
I'm not saying Liam Neeson because he played Zeus in the terrible Clash of the Titans remake, reboot, whatever. Watch the original. It's much better.
The first one was somewhat entertaining.
But I do like, when picturing how Zeus looks in that movie,
yeah,
I see Liam Neeson. I mean, the only other one...
He looks a little like Triton.
Triton?
From Little Mermaid.
King Triton, yeah. From Little Mermaid.
Yeah. They're two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, it could be brothers. Although I think it's actually supposed to be Poseidon as Zeus's brother, not Triton.
Got it. Nailed it.
Get my mythology here.
Brian says John Mulaney as Pain and Nick Kroll as Panic. I like it, except I think I would actually put in Bill Hader instead of Nick Kroll as Panic. And so I would have...
So you could get Mulaney.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%. John Mulaney and Bill Hader as Pain and Panic.
Stefan and Shy back again. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I think that's the solid choice.
Yeah.
Brian Nussbaum's other choice for Meg was Ariana Grande. We're still dealing with some, with a huge age gap here.
I just dawned on me with Bill Hader. If they do the Stefan and Shy again, it'd be like, Olympia's greatest nightclub is, I don't know. I'm not as good at that as him, but that's not what you watch.
Featuring Roman J. Israel Esquire.
Roman J. Israel Esquire. MTV's Dan Cortez.
I feel like we've made this. These references before.
It's not covering your face. It's a teepee over here.
Human squatty potty.
What's a human squatty potty? I don't know.
What can I say?
Yeah. Anyway, so that would be interesting. I'm eager to see a live action again, as long as they keep it same comedy level as the cartoon. That should be pretty good.
I'm not gonna say no to it. No. I'll go see it.
Well, it's not like Disney's waiting for your answer anyway. It's like, hey, should we make this?
Disney, you have my approval. Go for it.
Then they'll make it.
Yeah. Start it right now. Right this second. Start filming it right now. That ain't gonna happen.
Yep.
Let's do one of yours. I think we're good on that story. Let's move over to one of yours.
One that I
Echo's back.
Yeah. The Echo is back?
Yep.
The Echo is back. Echo.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that. Okay, so hopefully that's fixed. It was announced on Instagram or IGTV a day or two ago by Sylvester Stallone that he's like, yeah, let's do a sequel to Demolition Man.
Is that an official thing though? He's officially saying we are doing a sequel to Demolition Man, or is he just going, it'd be fun?
Here's the thing. If Sylvester Stallone's saying yeah, we're going to do it, he's probably going to do it. I mean, they did another Rocky.
He does not mince words.
They did Creed. They did more Rambos.
They did a bunch of Rocky.
Yeah. They're probably going to do another Demolition Man. And the only thing I'm really anxious for this.
Here it comes.
I really hope they still don't tell us how to use the 3 seashells.
I was thinking Demolition Man 2, the 6 seashells.
The 6 seashells.
They introduced 3 more because it's the second one and they're doubling up.
They're like, well, after that quarantine of 2020, y'all are probably the 3 seashells just ain't gonna cut it.
They're doubling up and doubling down. We gotta actually move to the seashells because if there's another lockdown coming this year, forget the toilet paper again.
But they're gonna be like, yeah, so we did that movie back in the early to mid 90s. I think that movie was like 94, 95.
Yeah.
Ish, somewhere around there.
Movie release dates.
Yeah. Well, I know because it was also in the there was a sound clip from that movie when the cop is telling Simon Phoenix to lie down and lie down on the ground, whatever. And that sound clip was used in the this is gonna be weird, y'all. The Bone Thugs and Harmony album that had the Crossroads in it. They used that sound clip on another song. I grew up with that album. Okay. Yeah, somewhere around that time frame. They might go back and go, yeah, we weren't realistic in that at all. Like, we need to up it to the 6 seashells.
Yeah.
2020 hit, and we're like, sorry, guys.
Especially if we're still expecting that Taco Bell is the only restaurant that we're going to be getting.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think even back then, like, Taco Bell, 3 seashells, that wasn't going to cut it.
It's a lot of rinsing off of those seashells, I'm sure.
I mean, we could all go the international route and just use Pizza Hut, but...
You can never out Pizza the Hut.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, they're potentially going to do a sequel to Demolition Man, which I'm all for. I loved Demolition Man. It's still one of the ones we talked about doing a watch along. That was like probably the first ones that I have said that I've championed. Hey, let's do a watch along to that because we could talk about that movie like all day long just because of how silly and goofy it is. I would love to do a Patreon watch along. So if you would like to potentially see that, make sure you hop onto our Patreon. Link is up here, and we're still trying to hash out what movies we want to do it for, but that's one that I'm publicly saying we'll probably do it at some point.
That's one of those things I was going to mention is we might actually, in order to pick from movies, we might actually do it to where patrons at whatever tier level that was, I think it was the $10 level, they get to, the Avenger level, they get to pick from like a poll options actually.
Yeah. Instead
of just the Wild West and everyone's picking movies that I don't want to mention by name on this channel ever.
Yeah. Yeah, those movies that we've talked about. But if there's going to be a poll, I can pretty much guarantee Demolition Man's going to be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's just it's a fun movie.
We'll make one of those the first ones available as a choice.
Yeah. What else you got?
Let's move on to the next things. I'd say actually, I'm trying to think. What was your other one? Your other one was. Oh, I know what yours. Okay. Let's go with starting kind of along the lines of the space theme. LeBron James introduced, I believe it was.
That's right.
Either his Twitter or his Instagram. I can't remember which one. He introduced the official logo for the Space Jam sequel, which is Space Jam: A New Legacy. So. It's official. Space Jam is getting a sequel. It is starring LeBron. It has a title. It has a logo. It's got everything. It's got Bugs at second billing, which makes no sense. Because Bugs is much more of a superstar than LeBron James ever could dream to be.
Yeah.
Also because I don't follow basketball, so I have no idea who LeBron James is.
Yeah, you do.
I know. I saw Trainwreck.
Oh, yeah. That movie was a train wreck. I will always make that joke, by the way. You can't help it. That movie it's built into the title.
It was okay.
It's like calling your live stream show the tagline. It's just built in.
Arriba.
You're like, any time is a good time. It's Santori time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bill Murray.
Nice. Lost in translation.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm eager to see. Here's the thing. Now, I remember watching Space Jam again, mid-90s movie, 96, I believe. I liked Space Jam when I was younger. Apparently, though, like, Space Jam was terribly, like, it was not liked.
Here's the thing. I watched it about a week and a half ago again for the first time in a very long time. Like, I hadn't seen it since I was a wee lad. It's very nostalgia. Even like first of all, the soundtrack. The soundtrack is very nostalgia based.
I love that soundtrack.
Every single song on that soundtrack is a nostalgia driving track.
If I hit 'em high, hit 'em high.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Every single one of them. The problem with the movie, though, is besides the fact that Michael Jordan isn't an actor.
I don't think he did a bad job in that, but again, I'm thinking it with my younger brain.
He didn't do a bad job for the way the movie was written. It was very thin. It was a very thin movie, which, again, what do you expect? It's Looney Tunes in live action. So as an adult, as someone who is more refined now, it's a very thin movie. As a kid, fantastic. It's a great kids movie.
The only one I remember as a kid is when Bill Murray shows up, and I'm sitting there like, how the heck did you get in here?
Yeah, he just pops in.
You came out of nowhere. He's like, excuse me.
I'll play.
Heard you could use another.
How did you get here?
How did you get...
Did he go down the same golf ball hole?
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here.
We probably were.
Anyways.
You saw the way they inflated Wayne Knight, right?
To get him into the golf hole?
No.
No, they
when they blew him up.
Oh.
It's been a while since he's seen the movie. Again, I just watched it a week and a half ago.
I don't remember if we saw him get like sucked down into the golf hole.
Wayne Knight?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I just watched it a week and a half ago.
Yeah. So
I didn't watch it yesterday.
Yeah. Dotson, we got Dotson here.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. So I'm eager for it. Again,
I am too.
Playing on nostalgia. I always loved Looney Tunes, Merry Melodies.
Arquette.
No. I don't believe he can fly. I believe he's going to.
He's pretty grounded now.
Yeah. He's grounded to a room with bars on it.
In more ways than one. Yeah, I'm... You good there?
Yeah, I got a piece of lime in there. I didn't...
Don't drink the worm.
Yeah.
So... I'm very interested. I want to see what they do with it. I want to hear more news from it. Obviously, they can't really do a whole lot of filming right now, but whenever they get to it, I'm interested to see if it has the same kind of thin plotting that the original had, or if they actually put some meat on the bones.
They're gonna bring back the Monstars with Swag Hammer, going, "Oh, there's a new celebrity. Let's go grab him and try this all over again."
Yeah.
Okay. I do like Brian Nussbaum. Over or under 50% Michael Jordan makes a cameo in Space Jam 2. Here's the thing. Right now, if they were filming this right now, this second, I would say go for it.
Yeah.
Completely capitalizing on the Michael Jordan documentary.
Yeah.
That is extremely popular right now.
Yeah.
I would definitely do that. Now, again, this is going to go back to how long is it going to take them to film this? When are they going to film this? How long is it going to take post-production? Because that's going to be all the animating and then releasing the movie.
Yeah.
So
I would actually give it over 50%.
He's going to pop up.
I would probably give it somewhere around a healthy 65 to 70% that he's going to pop up.
Do we get to see his arms stretch out again? Look, I can almost do that here. Look. Actually, that's a pretty cool looking effect. That almost works.
Please don't do that.
Oh, that looked bad, didn't it?
Please don't do that.
I was stretching my hand, y'all. I mean, nothing else. It was...
Well, good night, everybody. We've had fun here tonight. We will not see you guys next week. We are done on this channel, and let's call it a wrap.
Good night, y'all. Make sure to check us out Thursday for the video chronic.
I love tequila.
Yeah, I do too, apparently. Tequila makes you do weird things. Yeah. Especially when there's a camera on you.
Anyway, so yeah, Space Jam 2 is happening. Anyway.
So here's an interesting bit of news. Apparently, New Mutants was available for pre-order on Amazon.
I knew it.
And then promptly got pulled back.
Makes sense also.
Here's the I'm not gonna say that I came up with this. I saw someone else make this joke. I forgot who, but it was fantastic. And I was like, I think it was actually Bibiani on Twitter made this joke. He's like, even for New Mutants, the cancellation of that, the delay on that was really impressive. That was really fast for New Mutant standards.
Yeah.
So they put it up there, which might, I don't know, is that something that you could read into? They're like, hey, we might actually put New Mutants out on streaming. And then the question of that becomes, why Amazon? Because, again, that was Fox property. Disney owns it.
Yep.
Now, last I heard, they were trying to push New Mutants for, like, an R rating.
Which is why you wouldn't see it on Disney+.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. It wouldn't go to Disney+.
The question is, why would you put it up on Amazon to receive money rather than put it up on Hulu to stream like that?
Potentially. Because, I mean, if you're putting it on Hulu, you're essentially keeping it within the Disney family.
Yeah. Hulu's the place where the R-rated stuff that Disney now owns can make its home at.
So that will be Buena Vista and Touchstone over on Hulu.
Pretty much. The issue, though, is that it's a big first-run movie that people have been waiting for. They've been waiting a very long time for at this point. It is a property that Disney acquired from Fox, so Disney didn't put really any of its money towards the creation of this film, though they did put money towards Fox. So anything that this film makes in a box office setting
sort of, yeah,
is just strictly profit for Disney, which can help cover some of the cost of purchasing Fox to begin with. So you have a situation where, why would we put it on Hulu? We want the straight profit from it. We can put it on Hulu, and it's not going to hurt our bottom line. But if we put it up on Amazon for, what did they have it for, like $25 or something up there? What they're wanting to do is that they're wanting some profit off of it. They want just the straight profit from it. So it is possible that they want to do that on Amazon, and it makes plenty of sense.
Yeah, I like Garth saying for Disney Plus, just switch out the demon bear for Baloo. So Magic is gonna like try to fight him and like, look for the bare necessities. Like just starts busting out bare necessities.
The demon bear necessities.
The demon bear necessities, yeah. They also released like some kind of image from this that involves like some tall, skinny, like skin coated person that has a mouth but no nose or eyes or whatever, sitting there like it's some weird image. I just saw the picture and said that this was from New Mutants.
It's the critters from Stranger Things.
Is that what those are? I don't know. They said it was from New Mutants. I didn't click on it because I saw it earlier today, and it was like right as I was leaving work. And I'll be honest, I want to leave work when it's time to leave work. I mean, I feel like anyone would want to do that. Clock's over. Hey, get the heck out. Let's go.
You're ridiculous.
Well, just a little. I mean, I like to leave work when it's time to leave.
How dare you?
So I don't know too much more about it, but I just saw this picture. I was like, okay, that's just creepy looking.
Did you see the demon bear picture, though?
I didn't. I saw a small bit of it. I didn't actually get like a good like.
It looks terrifying.
Yeah. If it's anything like the demon bear, how they depict it in the phrasing. You gotta watch it on that one. How it's depicted in the comics, I fully believe it's gonna look terrifying. But
really
yeah,
big bear with crazy eyes that wants to devour you.
Yep, pretty much.
Garth says this was the
Smiley Man. That's it. Yeah, I remember seeing like Smiley something or another in there, and not the button from Evil Ernie.
So yeah, that is the question though. Do we think that they are actually going to commit to releasing it on Amazon, or I don't know. What I'm thinking right now is that like most studios, everything's just a wait and see game, because I don't know if they have they obviously had to move it from its current release date, which was supposed to be last month.
New Mutants, yeah, it was supposed to be at the beginning of April.
Yeah, beginning of April. So, but they haven't moved it to another release date yet.
No, it got moved. I could have sworn it got moved to August.
Did it?
I feel like that was like tentatively. I don't know if it was officially announced August, but I feel like they were like, yeah, let's just stick it there.
They just didn't have a specific date. They just said the month.
At this point, that poor
Echo
movie.
is back.
That poor movie has been drugged through the ropes.
That poor movie has been drugged through the ropes.
I don't know if that's a reference I can make nowadays, but
I don't know.
Yeah,
you're on a roll.
I'm doing great. I mean, it was you a couple of weeks ago, so I mean, it's only fair.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm still gonna beat you at Avengers.
You can't even say it, so I doubt it.
So
Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Boom, drink.
Yeah, let's not. Yeah, so it's gonna be good. I want to see New Mutants, and here's the thing that I think New Mutants really has going for it is the fact that this movie keeps getting dragged out more and more and more. Everyone's like, all right, I just want to see this now. Even if like when you saw the first trailer, you're like, maybe. Now it's like, oh yeah, that movie was supposed to come out. I really want to see this. The one I will compare it to is the horror movie Trick or Treat. That one got dragged out for a very long time, and it finally got released, and it was fantastic. It was one of the best like horror movie anthologies. Yeah, up there with like Creepshow, I would say.
I know all about these.
Yeah, I mean our audience is pretty familiar with these, so I'm saying it looking at you on behalf of them.
Sure,
that's the way these live stream shows work.
I don't expect that New Mutants is going to be fantastic, though.
I don't expect it to like be like really bad.
I have very low expectations for that movie, which means that when I see it, I'm going to be pleasantly surprised, possibly.
I mean, you got me on board because they did a really creepy version of Another Brick on the Wall. Another Brick in the Wall.
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk too fast. That's what the problem is. I've had a long day.
That's it. It's the same lines as Sonic, though. Did not have high expectations for that movie. Pleasantly surprised.
Very pleasantly surprised.
Enjoyed it. So,
until he pulled a Chandru and started flossing in the middle of the street.
You had to expect that to happen. Yeah. But yeah, New Mutants.
I'm still hopeful for it. I'm eager to see this movie. Hopefully it does well. Now the downside to that though is since it was the last X-Men property from Fox before Disney bought it, if the movie is good, there's a very small chance we're going to see any more development from Disney on New Mutants.
It depends on how they are able to weave the story, if they want to, into the MCU and how they introduce mutants in general.
The only thing I can think of is kind of going back to what you were saying, that Disney didn't have any hand in the production costs, essentially, of New Mutants. So all the money they make of it, essentially, is going to be pure profit, with the exception that they're incurring the debt from Fox in the making of the movie as well. But beside the point. They're more likely going to take that money and roll it into developing X-Men and Fantastic Four for the MCU.
Maybe.
As well. The question there is, when they do go back and they develop X-Men, will they develop it with New Mutants set within that? If New Mutants, according to this Fox production, has been distanced away from the Fox X-Men movies.
On top of that, you also have to deal with the fact that if New Mutants is in fact going to be rated R, it's probably not going to be attached to the MCU at all then.
Probably not. Well, maybe, because supposedly Deadpool 3 is going to be attached.
Deadpool's about the only thing you can get away with doing that, though, because Deadpool will break the fourth wall.
He'll break the fourth wall.
He can make those jokes. He can do that. He can do that kind of stuff.
I'm wondering if he's going to do something where like he's going to say a curse word. They're going to bleep him out. And he's going to be like, "Wait, what?"
I feel like we've made that joke before.
And then like we'll see like this clip of him actually going to like the Disney offices and going to like the person who's on the censor button sitting there like tapping the beeper whenever it needs to beep out. Shoot him in the head and then say a curse word like, "Oh, better." That would be funny.
That is very. That's a very post-credit scene.
This is not apple juice. It's tequila. I can't hide that.
It's a glass full of straight lemon juice.
And that was a mouthful of salt I just took.
Lemon, I mean lime.
Oh, good lord. Oh.
So before we move to the next story, I want to remind you guys that you can send in some questions and everything for us right there at streamlabs.com/cinefanatics. There's nothing there right now, but if you want to do that, we will catch it. We will read it out loud, and we'll give you all the props for asking us really great questions. I'm just assuming that if you're going to do something there, it's going to be great.
Yeah. Late to the party, tequila is my lady.
Why did you say it like that?
Because that's the way
I don't care.
Said.
I don't care. Don't say things like that.
What else you got in news?
Let's go ahead and just move straight into. We got two topics right here as our headline for the tagline, and I think the first one. Let's go ahead and talk about. Taika is going to be directing a Star Wars movie,
which we already knew that, But it was just actually confirmed.
Yeah, it was officially confirmed. He's going to be directing it. And so we're going to get a Star Wars movie with the stylings and flavorings of Taika Waititi.
Which, that would be really good.
Yeah, it would be fantastic, especially if you've seen that episode of The Mandalorian that he directed, where you can kind of get an idea of what Taika Waititi's Star Wars would feel like.
Which one was that?
That was the one with Jason Sudeikis and Adam Pally were playing those stormtroopers.
That's right, yes.
And they were punching baby child Yoda, whatever his name is.
Yeah, okay, I remember that one. Yeah, that could be really good. I'm expecting basically Thor and Ragnarok with Taika Waititi's humor.
Garth said,
or with Star Wars.
Garth said, "What we do on the dark side."
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, so
I'm not yelling that late to the party. We have neighbors.
Yeah.
Although they're going to be like, "Oh, Cinco de Mayo, we understand.
We get it. We get it." Here's the thing. At this point, I'm pretty excited for about anything that Taika Waititi does, whether it's Star Wars or whether he's doing something else that is an original IP for him. Mm-hmm. Because Jojo Rabbit was fantastic.
Yeah.
And Thor Ragnarok, while it's not my favorite MCU movie, it was fun. It was entertaining and it was hilarious.
Was a very, very stark contrast to Thor: The Dark World. Pun was completely intended on that. That sounds bad on the microphone, I guarantee it.
Not really, it's way underneath it. Oh. AJ says Korg Porg crossover movie.
Hello, my name's Korg.
Hello.
You're Porg.
You're Porg.
Can I eat you?
Hello, I'm just a pile of rocks.
Yeah. Nothing to be afraid.
Nothing to be afraid about unless you have scissors. Don't worry, it's a nice little rock, paper, scissors joke for you.
Yeah.
Butchering the quote, but hey.
Definitely. But, Korg didn't have tequila before trying to talk, so who knows?
I'm fine. Yeah, but how do we feel? How do we feel about a Taika Waititi? Are we excited about it? Are we feeling...
Well, okay, so Late to the Party makes a good point. Hopefully Kathleen Kennedy doesn't make him dumb down his...
Yes.
That might be the thing. Like, even though we've seen plenty of Taika just being, like, Jojo Rabbit, I feel like he was given free reign. Yeah. Thor Ragnarok, I feel like he was given free reign.
To an extent, I mean, the MCU does have a pretty tight grip over what it does, but Feige is definitely somebody who knows how to
use these people's strengths, their abilities.
There's a reason why he's hiring these people as directors. Yeah. Is because he knows that director's style, what they can do, is going to benefit whatever that particular property is. Now, say what you will about Edgar Wright departing Ant-Man before it was wrapped into the MCU.
He still wrote it.
He still wrote at least part of it, and it's still a movie, or it's a different situation. It's a different situation because he was originally going to do an Ant-Man movie that was going to be standalone on its own, not a part of an MCU. And when they decided to make it part of the MCU, that was his exit out. The situation with Taika is that he was he was hired as the director for Thor Ragnarok within the boundaries of the MCU. So he knew what he was getting into.
Yeah.
The thing is that we don't know if Kathleen Kennedy is going to be able to work with Taika specifically because she's had a history now with a couple of different directors on a couple different movies of not seeing eye to eye really with their creative processes and what they wanted to do, and therefore they've got ejected from these properties.
And I think that's the downside to that is when you see that's what's happening with directors, that they're being signed on, and then you hear months later they're like, yeah, we just didn't agree, we're gone. This is constantly happening. You have to look at what's the common denominator in this case, Kathleen Kennedy. Not seeing eye to eye, that doesn't bode well. So as a director who's wanting to, like, I would love to make a Star Wars movie, that's my hopes and dreams. You're seeing this and you're like, wow, that's the thing. My hopes and dreams might be completely gone because this person over here is controlling this entire franchise. So it might be you step into it as a director like, hey, so here's what we want you to do. You have to make the movie like this, this, and this. And you're like, well, So I'm just here in name only. Is that the case in this?
I mean, I have some ideas too. Here's some ideas I have. Well, we don't
We
really
like your
those.
ideas, but we want to do this.
Yeah.
Like,
because I wonder, and I really wonder if at the end of the day, would I have enjoyed Solo more if Lord and Miller were still the directors of it and not Ron Howard?
Yeah.
I like Ron Howard fine. He's a great American director. Fantastic, just like Steven Spielberg, one of those legendary directors in Hollywood and everything. But the thing is that Lord and Miller have also proved themselves between the Lego Movie and their work on Into the Spider-Verse. So would I have enjoyed Solo more? And so the question now is, with Taika coming on board another Star Wars movie, I want to enjoy Taika's spin on it, and I hope that I get to do so. As late to the party point out as we're talking, I hope I get to do so in the long run, instead of seeing another director who's got great creative vision in his films, kicked out because you're not following our very boxed in vision of how we want this project to go.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate, but.
The question at the end of the day is that I think Star Wars needs a Kevin Feige. And I know that people have said that across various channels, various videos, all that.
Any big franchise like that was the other thing. That was what people were saying with the DC, like the DCEU or whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
That was what they lacked. They didn't have a Kevin Feige. Unfortunately, it looks like Star Wars now, the Kevin Feige is Kathleen Kennedy.
Which, she's had successes. Let's not get this wrong. Echo's back. Man, it's just crazy tonight. Yeah, I think it's OBS. We gotta look into that. But
I will continue to Google that.
Yeah.
I need to unplug this and reset this microphone. Then when I plug it back in, I have like a completely different voice. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
If I was able to do that.
It's hilarious. Late to the Party says what I wanted to actually get to is they just need to run everything by Filoni first. Completely agree. At this point, Dave Filoni knows exactly what he's doing with any Star Wars that he touches.
Especially coming off of Clone Wars.
I would almost be daring to say at this point, based on what I've seen from Dave Filoni, he might be better at Star Wars than Feige is at Marvel. And Feige's fantastic with Marvel.
That's some pretty strong words.
Rebels, fantastic. Clone Wars, fantastic. Mandalorian's been fantastic. I mean, I've got to see more from Filoni, of course, to really be firm in that decision and firm in that opinion. But man, if they can turn around and say Dave Filoni, you're going to be the Kevin Feige of the Star Wars universe, I think you'll hear a million voices screaming out in joy instead of pain.
Nice reference. So having the issues with the microphone, we got Alex, Brothers Adams fan, in the chat is saying maybe IBS. That might be what's wrong with the microphone. So yeah, and why don't we look at the camera, because it's right there and he's right there, and that's just. I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to him.
But then sometimes we'll talk to y'all.
We'll talk to y'all.
Hey, just okay. Just please.
Anyways, possibly. The thing is this is all. Everything is coming off of Clone Wars right now. And
so good.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Even Kevin Feige, who we put Kevin Feige up on a pedestal for.
Good reason.
How he's conducted the entire MCU.
Yeah.
Let's keep in mind, there's still some misses in there.
But
Thor: The Dark World. You're still talking about
an MCU miss is a hit anywhere else.
An MCU miss is still pretty decent. Thor: Dark World was kind of a weak movie. It's still enjoyable. I've watched it multiple times. I would take a Video Chronic pop culture quiz on Thor: The Dark World easily, but. Compare that to misses, unfortunately, in the Star Wars universe. Solo.
That's the opinion of this channel. I know there's a lot of people out there that do actually really like Solo.
And
God bless them.
I understand why people like Solo. Solo does have, there's some redeeming qualities.
It's an entertaining adventure.
Solo. And I think you kind of have to take into account, like, are you a diehard Star Wars fan? I don't know. I haven't done the legwork to actually find this out, but that would be kind of something interesting to maybe poll, like, on Twitter. I might do it later. I don't know. But do you like Solo, and are you a diehard Star Wars fan?
For sure. I think you'll find that there are actually some really big diehard Star Wars fans that are really big fans of Solo still.
And why?
They recognize that it's a fun adventure movie. Especially, there's a piece in Clone Wars that actually very briefly, but for a few seconds, touched on a character that was in Solo, and it actually made me feel great about that, because while I don't like Solo, I recognize that movie is canon, and therefore any appearances from that appearing in other Star Wars media makes me happy that there's still that tie-in connection and everything.
I'm pretty sure I can guess who this character is.
Yeah, we've talked about it,
okay.
But it is a thing though, because like we said, we talk about Kevin Feige leading the MCU. Again, a miss for the MCU is a hit pretty much anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like Thor: The Dark World, if that came out during the run of comic book movies in the late 90s, early 2000s, it would have been night and day, gold standard for a comic book movie. That being said, we still have X1, X2, Spider-Man 1 and 2, and, the Blade movies.
We do have some good, like, pre-MCU Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And I think, like, it's definitely thanks to Blade. I think Blade was really the one that really set comic book movies, because comic book movies were just pretty much dragging.
Before that, you had the Schumacher.
You had the two Schumacher Batmans. You had Spawn. You had here's the thing. You had Crow, which first of all, no one knew that was based off a comic for the most part.
Yeah.
Second of all, it had tremendous press because of the unfortunate death of Brandon Lee during that movie. And then you're like, oh, well, this looks more like a horror movie, so no one really it didn't get anywhere near the comic book. Now you look back on it, and it's a fantastic comic book movie. Mm-hmm. But it's unfortunately that was something done in hindsight. That was kind of the issue that I feel like a lot of people had with Blade, is you didn't know Blade was based off a comic book. Because most people will still to this day say that what really began the comic book renaissance that we are living in now was X-Men, when it was Blade that was, again, the one that grandfathered it all.
Yeah. So, I mean, jumped a little bit off topic there, because we were
go
talking
back
about
to
Taika.
Star Wars in space.
Yeah, we were talking about Taika there. Let's see, real quick, we actually have a Streamlab from AJ. He said, would you rather Taika's project be during the Skywalker saga or something before or after? I'm personally hoping for old High Republic. I know that they're talking a lot about High Republic stuff right now.
Yeah.
I don't know, because the question is what Taika is doing, is it going to be just a one-off single story? Or are they maybe thinking that they could get a trilogy out of him also?
And I think the other difference that we need to look at with this is those of us that are familiar with Star Wars, the ones who are just complete Star Wars geeks about this, we know what stories are out there. We know what stories could be told. That might not necessarily fit with the director. Mm-hmm. Like, if you wanted to go, like, I guess, Knights of the Old Republic, or, like, say, your movie of what took place before Episode 1, if you want to dive into something like telling the story of Darth Plagueis, all that stuff, that might not fit with Taika Waititi's style.
That would be hilarious if the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise was done by Taika Waititi.
But from what we know of that storyline already, the hints that have been dropped, that have been talked about in the other Star Wars movies, I don't think that would fit in his world with his kind of humor, the way he... I feel like he needs to do something... I actually would want to see him do something outside of the Skywalker saga, probably after Episode 9.
Yeah.
Because I feel like anything he's going to do, if he was to do something that was either before the Skywalker saga or during, kind of like Rogue One or
It's
Solo.
just a side story.
It's a side story, but you have this established universe. You know how things work, how things run, but now we're going to put Taika Waititi's humor in it, which I understand that's like Thor. We understood how the MCU works, but now we got Taika's humor weirdness in Thor Ragnarok.
Again, you go back and watch that Mandalorian episode. That's a perfect example.
Yeah, but I mean, that was like, so for Mandalorian, that was just a one-off episode in this like one specific spot. For Thor, most of that movie took place on this very lavish-ish planet where there was gladiatorial. It's lavish, like right in the actual building and stuff.
Yeah,
and everything else was a wasteland.
District 1.
Yeah, but stop! No.
Can't whistle it.
No Hunger Games.
That salt on that rim has ruined my ability to whistle.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know if his viewpoint and humor would fit in a Star Wars, essentially a Star Wars saga movie. And again, what we know of before Episode 1, I don't think it would fit with that either. It needs to be a side story.
Again,
after Episode 9.
It depends on the stories they want to tell before Episode 1. If you're following a certain cast of characters during a High Republic era, and these cast of characters and the story they want to tell with them fits Taika's flavor, go for it. And I think that is the big thing. I think they are straight up just going to be focusing right now on that era, because your other option is either still during Skywalker, which I don't believe that they're really going to be touching on too many more movies during the Skywalker timeline anymore. And for right now, I don't see them touching on any stories past Rise of Skywalker. Right now, that's a pretty solid period on the Star Wars universe at the moment.
Yeah,
that they're gonna have to buckle down and come up with some really good stories after that.
Yeah, because you're at that point you're talking about possibly building a whole nother franchise. Series of movies after that. Yeah, and that's the thing, going into this, we weren't even really expecting Episode 7, 8, and 9, much less Solo and Rogue One, so who knows?
Not till 2012 anyway,
yeah,
when they said that they were going to make 7, 8, and 9.
So I'm eager to see what he could do. I'm curious. We will probably, as more develops with that, we'll probably give more of an opinion as we kind of see what direction that they plan on going with him.
Oh, you know what would be fun? A bounty hunters movie.
I mean, you could get some pretty good like situational comedy out of that.
That might be the one thing that I would want to see during a Skywalker era is you got Boba Fett leading a band of bounty hunters, and has to deal with some crazy characters that are
Bosk, The Adventure Begins.
Honestly, like, no, but during Clone Wars, Bosk and Boba Fett did partner up with each other, and we're doing missions with each other.
I'm thinking Bosk and Dengar is a buddy comedy.
Also,
well, we're reaching a whole new level of nerd here, y'all.
Again, watch Clone Wars. Dengar was also present during that too. I would be straight up okay with a one-off Taika Waititi bounty hunters movie. I think that would be hilarious, especially if you've got Boba Fett having to be the deadpan leader of this ragtag group of crazies.
Yeah.
So that's our thoughts on the Taika stuff. Want to jump on that last little bit news story there?
We're going to jump on this news story like Slim Pickens jumps on a rocket in Doctor Strangelove. Speaking of jumping on a rocket, apparently Tom Cruise is no longer happy with skydiving on Earth. He now wants to go the complete opposite direction and just keep going out of the atmosphere on a SpaceX rocket.
Yeah, so you got Tom Cruise, who's apparently going to be partnering with Elon Musk.
Yeah.
To jump up into space and give us Mission Impossible, who knows what. It's not a Mission Impossible movie. But, yeah, Tom Cruise is no longer satisfied, as you said, with stunts here on Earth. We've got to see him do some crazy stuff up in space now. Which, here's the thing. Sure.
Is he going to jump up and down on a space couch talking about how much he loves space aliens? I love space aliens.
I love you, and I love everybody here on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that, but...
I don't know if anyone caught that reference actually, but let's
I'm sure.
pass by it anyways.
I'm sure. I love this woman.
Well, no, that's not the reference I was making. But he likes space aliens.
Well, yeah. I was also thinking you were talking about the Oprah.
No, that was the jumping on the couch bit.
Anyway,
it's always fun. We got to explain the joke.
Should have moved on. Anyway, so Tom Cruise is just the right person to send up into space. Let's be honest. Who else are you going to send up there right now?
Here's the thing. Like, I don't like flying in an airplane that much. I've gotten more used to it lately because we've done a lot of traveling out to LA.
Not too lately.
Well, the last time we went out,
gonna have to get used to it again.
I know.
In a year.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hopefully.
The last time we went to LA, I wasn't bad on the airplane.
No.
So I can only imagine just how bad is it actually on a rocket leaving the atmosphere of planet Earth. And I'm thinking, like, you go back and watch Apollo 13, or even, and I know this is completely off the wall, but Armageddon with Steve Buscemi when he gets, like, that space sickness, and he actually references writing the missile like Slim Pickens does in Doctor Strangelove.
Don't want to fall asleep.
Oh, no. That's the other thing. I'm not traveling to outer space with a soundtrack by Aerosmith. Now, Pink Floyd flying into outer space, that would be fantastic.
You want to listen to Pink Floyd every time, all the time.
Echoes actually, kind of funny, given the current situation also. Yeah. But Echoes would be a fantastic song to fly to outer space with.
Sure. Echo is back.
Did they say that? Yeah. Well, speaking of Echoes.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
What is the interval here? That's like every 15 minutes or so?
Something like that.
We might just have to do like every 15 minutes you just unplug it and replug it back in.
I might start getting proactive at this. So like it's 10:46 right now. So at 11 o'clock, I'm just going to probably do it again just in case.
Yeah. I think that'll work.
That might be kind of cool. Now that will suck for a live stream where like we get like deep in thought on a subject. Like, oh, hold on, got to unplug my mic.
Pause that.
You never see any other live streamers having to unplug their mic. So we need to figure this out.
Yep. But I think the question at hand is, what movie is Tom Cruise going to do in space?
It's going to be another Mission Impossible.
It's not going to be another Mission Impossible.
He's actually trying to beat the Fast and the Furious people at this point. And since Fast and the Furious 9's been delayed a year, he might have a head start on them.
Well,
you don't see them talking to Elon Musk right now.
He's also got a different situation where his movie actually would take place in space, whereas Fast and Furious is just going to do it on green screen.
That's true.
So, that's soundtrack by Tom DeLonge. You know what? That actually makes me think of something completely different, which is
and now for something completely different.
If the movie does not feature ground control to Major Tom, what are they even doing?
Was that Major Tom? No, that was Space. No, that was Space Oddity. Space Oddity was Major Tom, the ground control.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Major Tom was.
Got it.
Yeah, Major Tom was the 5/4 Earth below us.
All of the above. All of the above.
Falling.
Yep, you got it.
Anyways, karaoke night here at Cinefanatics. You put the weirdest places to put SpongeBob in. I'm just saying. I'm not going to point it out anymore. Feel free to continue using it. I like it, but
first you do this, then you do this, then this and that, and this and that, and then
I wish I had that much like skin dangling underneath my chin to be able to grab and do the SpongeBob.
No comment.
I'm just grabbing a bunch of hair at this point.
That's all he's grabbing.
Story of my life. Grabbing a bunch of hair.
Okay, no more tequila during these.
It's already done. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to whiskey, y'all.
He drank the worm. What movie? What movie is Tom Cruise doing in space?
Mission Impossible.
No, it's not Mission Impossible. They already said it's not. Although like Garth's here, Mission Impossible 7, the IMF becomes part of the Space Force.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's possible.
Let's see what Steve Carell does with the Space Force first, and then we'll we'll go with that. No, I'm thinking like you have either an Oblivion or you have
like a one-off movie.
Ready, Set, Die, whatever that movie's title is. Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
Danny, y'all looking forward to getting a haircut soon? Yeah.
I've never looked forward to getting a haircut more in my entire life.
So she brings this up. Oh no, real quick tangent, but they actually announced that like May 8th, barbershops in Texas can.
Is that the
open.
day?
Yeah, but apparently you still have to. Yeah, it's like in 3 days. You have to make an appointment.
I don't care what I have to do. I will do it.
Yeah.
Reopen Friday. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wear a mask as much as possible with hair getting cut. Probably gonna have to like shift and move it out of the way here and there. But
which I mean, as long as I'm getting a haircut,
I
that's
expect my stylist will also wear a mask and gloves.
That's the rule, yes.
Yeah, and so I'm just gonna kind of just dart out the door real quick, get the things cut, and then back home.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if I'm gonna rush out on Friday immediately because that day is gonna be insane.
No.
Anyone wanting it, everyone and their mom's gonna want a haircut on that day.
Allowed to reopen on Friday, but I'm gonna wait a couple days still and kind of. It's still one of those wait and see things. Like, what's going on? How's
Danny says drive to Corpus, guys. I mean, at this point, I'm gonna be waiting more than 5 hours anyways just to get a haircut. Might as well. How much is a haircut worth you? Like a couple of tanks of gas?
We'll meet you halfway.
Yeah. Let's go to San Antonio. That's not halfway.
That's definitely not halfway.
Yeah.
But yeah, driving all the way to Corpus for a haircut, that'd be fun.
I would say that's what Danny in the chat, that's what she does. So yeah. I know she's eager to be able to get back to work because not doing what you enjoy, what you like doing is got to be just...
Yeah. Tell me about it.
I do like the movie Oblivion, yeah. Yeah, maybe something like Edge of Tomorrow, I could see that. But at the same time, I don't know if Edge of Tomorrow it was a fantastic movie. It was a great movie, very well done, back to the whole Groundhog Day idea, storyline. But I don't know if the reason I am actually saying Mission Impossible is because that is a franchise that will guarantee you getting somewhat of some kind of money that warrants actually going to outer space.
Here's the thing, though. There's two sides to this. One, that is a piece of news that markets a movie all on its own. It doesn't have to be attached to a franchise. Everybody's going to go see that movie because they want to see Tom Cruise in space.
So you
actually went to space? Yeah, we're going to go see that.
You might as well just make that a part of your marketing budget then.
For sure. The other side of it,
one trailer, one poster.
Yeah.
Is Tom Cruise on the poster like...
Yes, something like that. The other side of it, and what hasn't been considered yet, is that which studio is going to fund this movie, because the insurance alone is going to be
Elon Musk's studio. He's
Maybe
going to make his own studio at that point.
Sure, I mean that's how you cut costs on the actual travel to space, but you still have to insure Tom Cruise, which I know is already a lot of money for most of his movies anyway.
I just saw my face on the playback. That was great.
Yeah. That's a lot of money for most of the movies that he stars in anyway, but you're gonna have to ramp that up by at least 10 times in order to, like, what studio is gonna fork over the insurance money to cover a major A-list celebrity doing a movie in space, much less who's he in the movie with? Or are we gonna do like a Sam Rockwell and Moon situation where he's just acting with himself? That could be possible too. They're gonna accidentally remake of The Martian. All of a sudden, Tom Cruise is going to become the best botanist on Mars.
Growing potatoes from poop. That's fantastic.
That's funny. So, I am very eager to see any more news about this.
Once again, that's going to be something we're going to need, like, maybe a little more details besides just, like, the announcement here to start actually, like, formulating a...
The honest truth about this situation, though, is I believe that we're talking about this now. We may talk about it again later, and it's never going to happen.
Who knows?
I think Tom... Echo's already back? Jeez. I think if anybody can get it done, though, it's going to be Tom Cruise. And then, of course, you've got Elon Musk running a private company that goes to space.
But here's the thing. Here's the flip side. And if I want to be completely positive with this storyline, they could film that right now. There's no coronavirus in outer space.
You still need a solid crew, though. And that's the other thing is, like, what size of a crew are you also insuring to go to space?
I guarantee you get anyone who's affiliated with space, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, we can go up there. We're fine.
I just think there's a lot of factors you have to take into consideration. I don't know if this is actually going to happen. It's fun to talk about right now, though.
Yeah.
I just don't see that
It
happening.
was also really fun to put Tom Cruise on a rocket in the thumbnail.
Oh, absolutely.
Just stick his head on
How do you pass up the idea of having Tom Cruise just flying through space in your thumbnail?
For the most part, especially because we already had the idea of like Korg with like say like Ahsoka and C-3PO in their eyes and stuff for the thumbnail, and then we just thought of the Tom Cruise on the rocket like last minute. That was still fun because the whole thing's like all space related.
Yeah.
The thumbnails are a lot of fun to create. It's like sticking John Malkovich's face on people in the thumbnail.
You just wanted an excuse to bring that up. That's it.
Dude, that was so much fun to make.
So the Cinema Bias on Video Drew's channel that's simultaneously running with our live stream right now. This fool made the thumbnail for it, as he has with all the other Cinema Bias thumbnails for Video Drew.
That was so much fun.
But he Malkoviched that thing right up.
Nice use of that term.
Malkovich.
So yeah, if you're watching this right now, if you've seen Being John Malkovich, or even if you haven't seen it, watch that movie because that was a really good movie, and then go check out Video Drew's YouTube channel. I feel like this whole like live stream tonight's a plug for Video Drew.
Kinda.
She's only like 60 something subscribers away. Go subscribe to Video Drew. Get her up to that 1,000 because
last number I saw that she was away was very nice.
What?
And it was 60 something.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Somewhere between like 68 and 70.
Yeah.
Oh, you pervert. Anyways, so go check out Video Drew.
Just making a joke.
And go check out that Being John Malkovich Cinema Bias.
You know what? You can call me a pervert all day. You're still gonna lose at that Infinity War and Endgame thing.
Yeah. Sure. Then that's why you still using the baby fork and the baby spoon when you eat dinner.
That's not what I do at all. Tom Cruise in space in Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie.
I mean, that could be. Here's the thing.
Look,
that could have been like blatantly in front of our face this entire time, and we just never thought of it until Garth says something in the chat.
Look, I'm not saying no. I'm not saying no.
No, not at all.
I'm not outwardly saying yes, but I am absolutely not saying no.
In fact, I'm actually like, now that you've put that thought out there in the ether and not the one used in Dark World,
nice.
Now that you've put that idea out, I want to see Tom Cruise in a Taika Waititi movie.
I don't know if I want to see him in a Star Wars movie, but I definitely want to. Yeah, I want to see. I want to see everybody in a Taika Waititi movie. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but I'm kind of thinking, if you think back to like what comedic roles has Tom Cruise done?
Tropic Thunder?
Easily. Tropic Thunder is probably one of his best roles ever.
Yeah.
His character that he played in that, just so good.
Yeah.
And apparently the role that Robert Downey Jr. played was so bad, because that's back up on Twitter now and people are hating it.
According to a bunch of teenagers who have not seen Tropic Thunder, who didn't even know about the movie's existence till they saw Robert Downey Jr.'s pictures from it.
That is so stupid.
Who now don't understand the whole context and point of the movie. Some people just shouldn't be allowed on Twitter.
Real quick lesson for y'all. If you're going to sit there and say something bad or negative about a movie,
watch the movie first.
See the movie first. Cats was terrible. I can say that because I've seen the movie. Mm-hmm. In fact, pretty much any idiot who's seen the trailer could probably be like, yeah, that's a terrible movie.
That's a bad example, because I would argue that you probably shouldn't see that movie, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine just not seeing it. It's fine.
You could watch the butthole cut. Let's
not talk about that. Anyway, let's move on. We covered it. We covered Tom Cruise is shooting himself up in space, and that's a lot of fun.
Phrasing.
Not at all. This is the part where we usually get into some Schmoedown talk, and for those of you who are watching who have not watched this stream or really any other content we put on this channel, especially right now because there's only two things that we're putting on this channel, and that's this stream
and Schmoedown
reaction, which that's about to wind down here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Although they did make some announcements today. But
let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk. All right, Rhett.
Will it Schmoedown? Let's talk about that.
So Schmoedown, for those of you who are unaware, is basically if you take movie trivia and
wrestling,
an actual like hardcore movie trivia competition, people really battling it out for their knowledge in movie trivia, and you mix it with the fun storylines and factions and rivalries of wrestling
and Honey Nut Cheerios
but minus the Honey Nut Cheerios.
you would have the movie trivia Schmoedown.
And also minus the tequila, you would have the movie. Actually, no,
there's probably a lot of tequila still involved.
sometimes.
Have you saw the bottle collection that they had in the studio? I mean, there's probably some tequila involved.
I saw Vinny Mancuso.
I was saying Vinny had like a whole like blender of margaritas. So I mean, there's tequila involved in that.
Anyway, Schmoedown, it's our sport. It's the sport that we follow the most because we don't follow sports, and it's the only one that could be considered a sport that we actually follow. Because
although real quick, we're a movie channel. We don't follow sports, but did you see what happened in the world of sports this week?
Possibly.
Don Shula passed away.
Oh.
At 90. So again, we're not sports fans, but here's the thing: you have to acknowledge this: the most winningest coach in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
His coaching has won the most NFL games out of any other coach. That's a huge like legacy to go out on. So 90 years old, passed away. Rest in peace, Don Shula. But that's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Now, I don't know what football is or any of the rest of this, so I guess we'll go back to talking about movies.
No clue. No, we're going to go back to talk about Schmoedown because that's the sport we do know about.
Oh, there's movies involved in that.
Yeah, for sure. So here, when we talk about the Schmoedown, we're talking about this past week's matches that went live on YouTube on Friday. We are not covering the match that's currently up on Patreon right now specifically because
we haven't seen it yet.
Well, yeah, there's that, but also because it's on Patreon and you gotta pay Schmoedown's Patreon in order to see it right now. So we don't talk about that right now. Last week's match though, that was the Wicked versus Rogue 2. So we had the return of Jim Vevita and Jared Haben making up the Wicked over on the Rockstars versus Adam Lavick and Liz Shannon Miller over on Swag making up Rogue 2.
The fun thing, like real quick, I will talk about the fun thing about that match is sitting there talking to my coworkers, and my coworkers, I've talked to them about Schmoedown. I've told them, hey, I've got to go to LA for something, and then they're like, oh, what are you going to LA for? Because I mean, someone goes to LA, you want to know why? Yeah. And so I have to explain what the Schmoedown is to them, and some of them I'm like, oh yeah, so there's people you might be aware of in their competing in the Schmoedown. They're like, oh, who? I'm like, well, there's Sam Levine, if you're familiar with, if you've seen Not Another Teen Movie and Glorious Bastards. Yeah. He's a part of that. There's comedians involved, other actors, actresses, like critics and stuff. Producers, yeah, like Ethan Irwin, who produced Nice Guys, Book of Eli. Yep. So there's people who you may be familiar with. You might not know them directly by name, but there's people
you've seen their work.
Yeah, you've seen their work. You are aware that the stuff that they work on exists. One of the ones that I thought was funny is talking to coworkers who might be interested in reality shows, specifically The Bachelor. Yep. I'm like, oh yeah, so you're familiar with Jared Haben from Bachelor in Paradise? Like, yeah. He's a part of it. He's answering geek questions. That guy from Bachelor in Paradise.
Too smooth.
He's answering geek movie questions.
He was on Backstage today too.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, that's always fun, is to try to say like, oh, this person and that person. Yeah.
Tenpin from Newsies. That would be Smets.
Good old Smetsy.
Yeah. The one I like talking about Smets, especially if it's around people my age, is doing the voice of Bobby's older brother, Derek, from Bobby's World. Yeah. With his mom with like that Minnesota Fargo accent. Don't you know?
Oh, don't you know? Anyway.
Not that one. That was a little off. Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
You betcha.
Oh, yeah, you betcha. We're from Texas. As you can tell.
Tequila. Now you got that song stuck in your head.
So the match, it was a really good match. I know Dang Echo is back. Hey, that Dang Echo is back.
Dang Echo.
Dang Echo, Bobby.
Dang Echo, Bobby. Dang it, Bobby.
Shut up, Meg. That's a completely different cartoon.
Shut up, Meg.
Shut up, Meg.
Wow, no. Okay, so we can't do Peter Griffin. That sounds like a sheep.
We are way off the rails. I don't mind that. Some of my favorite shows to watch on YouTube go off the rails.
Honestly, it has nothing to do with the tequila.
No, we're just in a mood tonight. We are just in a mood tonight.
I think I'm more of like, I'm just tired, so this is probably like, I'm starting to hit like that delirious, like, hey, delirious, there's a camera, let's perform.
Sure.
Perform. Okay, phrasing.
So going into this match, I was expecting that Veveda and Habon were going to be the ones to win it, because Veveda is, as Roxy had put it, was a steal in the draft.
Yeah, and you were wrong about that, just like you're going to be wrong.
I'm not there
about
yet.
Winning
I don't care. Hold on. Jeez. He is somebody who can be on the level of a Drew McQueenie and above a Bibion. He's someone who knows a lot about movies. Unfortunately, last time we saw him, he had some slip-ups in the game side of it. And so we expected, with Roxy, who Roxy does know the game now. She knows how to play the game. With a manager like her, I expect great things out of him. Fix that issue, and his knowledge is going to shine through.
Don't give Roka biopics.
No, they took it back.
Yeah. He actually did. They did really well with the biopics category.
They did well with it. I think that is a team that has some great potential. The issue is, and it comes down to Jared Habon's the weak link there.
Only because, for the most part, he's only been playing Inner Geekdom, so he's been on like just the geek questions, not the general knowledge movie trivia.
And he even mentioned it on Backstage today, where he is excited to be partnered with Jim because he expects Jim is going to carry him. That is almost like a direct quote from him on Backstage today. So he even admits himself that he knows that Jim is the more knowledgeable player in the general trivia side.
Which, here's the thing. Normally, like in a sports-related thing, I would assume, because again, I don't know sports. But if you were to say, hey, I like being partnered with this player because I feel like this player is going to carry me, that's not necessarily something that, for the most part, you want to hear. Now, the thing is, in movie trivia...
That's like when you're doing a class project or whatever, and you're the one who's a part of it. It's like...
You're partnered with, like, the class geek, and you're like, yeah, this geek's going to carry me.
I'm just putting my name on the paper.
Because I was the class geek.
You still are. I'm putting my name on the paper, and I'm taking some credit for your work.
That's why I'm going to win the Avengers video chronic quiz.
That's because you read the comics. Doesn't mean you know the movies.
I know the movies.
Yeah, I know the movies.
So that's the... Typically, you wouldn't want to admit that, and you wouldn't want to be the person, like... In that reference, you would not want to be Jim Veveda getting told, like, hey, you got to carry your partner over here. Here's the thing. With Schmoedown, though, it's nice to be evenly partnered, and what you don't know, your partner may.
And that's the situation with most teams in the Schmoedown is, and they've even discussed it before, is that you have an A player and you have a B player. A B player isn't called a B player to make them feel bad. They just have a different role with the team than the A player does. The A player is going to be the one who carries forth all of the knowledge, or at least a bulk of the knowledge. The B player is there to fill some gaps and also control gameplay.
Potentially, and that's the thing. Like, and again, if you're not familiar with the Schmoedown, here's one really good reason to get into it. We've reached the point in this show, in this sport, where we're beyond just knowing movie trivia.
Yeah.
You now have to know how to play the game. When a question gets asked to you, not only do you have to sit there and try to think up the answer, but you also have to sit there and think, okay, so what happens if I don't answer this? What happens if I do answer this? If it's round 2, what benefit do I have going to multiple choice? There's so many questions that you have to ask yourself while playing. And if you're familiar with that, being strong with the gameplay is almost just about as good as knowing the right answer to these trivia questions.
Very beneficial. It's all about strategy.
Yeah. So definitely, if you get, like, again, you might be in the situation where your A player is just a walking IMDb.
Yeah.
But your B player might just be completely full of knowledge, and or knowledge as in how to play the game, how to do the strategy.
Yeah, Garth says Ben Bateman is doing Moneyball tactics, and that's true. He's definitely got a pretty firm grasp on how to strategize and run statistics and stuff.
AJ Lancaster, guy.
I was just about to say that, but okay, you go ahead.
Guy has, well, I mean, so I'm mentioning this one because I do have that connection. AJ Lancaster says Guy has been a B player his entire career and never felt bad. Would you stop that?
I got a connection. I've been on the Schmoedown.
No, that's not what I mean. So, watching Guy.
We've both been on Action Movie Anatomy.
Okay, but watching Guy and McWeeny play right there in front of you as you're playing against them, you definitely can see that, like, Guy has the strategy down. And someone like Guy has to have that strategy down because of his character. His character work is also really high. Did you bite your tongue or something?
That is some really hard salt that just went straight into the roof of my mouth.
Wow. Oh, the rock of it?
I'm holding it together, yeah.
Oh, ow. That's like biting a potato chip and it jams in. Oh, yeah.
And it's salt.
Yeah, so salt in the wound.
Anyway.
So Guy is really good at this because of his also the character that he portrays on the Schmoedown.
His strategy is intimidation, essentially.
Yeah.
Getting under the skin.
Yeah. And if you weren't someone who was doing reactions to the Schmoedown, that would probably get to you. But if you're already used to his character and how he acts, no problem whatsoever.
Then
Just saying.
Then your problem is being caught off guard because you're laughing the entire time, and you're like, "Oh, I should be thinking about the answer to the question instead of laughing at what he's doing."
Yeah, because like in that case,
he gets you coming and going.
Yeah, Andrew Guy, he is fantastic at what he does. Absolutely, like, all respect.
And what he does is very nice.
Yeah, and very dastardly at the same time.
No, it's debonair.
No.
But yeah, no. And that's the great thing about Guy is while he's doing that strategy side of it, he is somebody who is actually really good at filling gaps in the other person's knowledge. Mm-hmm. Where McWeeny kind of fell off, you did see even in your match with the family, where McWeeny fell off, he was filling the gaps in places.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
what was it? The Spider-Man one. They asked who played Uncle Ben in the Andrew Garfield. And McWeeny, again, McWeeny is a critic. He's very strong in his movie knowledge, and he said Campbell Scott, who
was in the movie.
He was in the movie. He was Peter Parker's father. He wasn't Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew Guy did get Martin Sheen, which was Uncle Ben in those movies. So yeah, I mean, and that's the good thing of especially having a team.
Yeah. That's why I'd say, like, in the case of our situation, you do have more of a movie knowledge than I do, but I think I could be good at a strategy side of it, and I do think I can fill in some of the gaps that you might be missing too.
There's definitely, from us doing reactions, there's definitely a lot of movies that I know.
Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody.
Yeah, I already did that. There's a lot of movies that I know you will know everything about that I won't. For you,
La La Land.
Well, I mean, okay, La La Land. I don't want to like air out like all the movies strategy, but I mean, granted, you could go back and watch all of our reactions and start piecing together what each of us knows. I will, for example, Wes Anderson. You are more of a Wes Anderson fan.
I wasn't going to say it, but yeah.
But definitely that's one. If a Wes Anderson question pops up, if we were in, say, round 3 and the 2-point question was Wes Anderson, you're getting that.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to give me a 2-point Wes Anderson. Just, nope, you're losing those 2 points, pretty much, for the most part.
Yeah.
Same thing with me on horror movies. You're not going to answer a horror movie question. You're going to, like, I will handle horror.
And that's just the fun way of saying, like, yeah, in that round 3, how you balance that out, because you do have the situation where the less knowledgeable player probably should be taking the 2-pointer more often.
And I think that's what you see for the most part, the strategy on that show. That's what happens.
Yeah. Which that actually brings into another point, specifically about the match between Rogue 2 and Wicked. You had a situation where... Nice. Proactive. You had a situation where...
Plus I needed to cough.
Yeah. You have the situation where Jared Habon and Adam Lavick are both more stronger in the inner geekdom side of it, so they can fill in the gaps of those types of movies. Whereas you have Jim Vevita and Liz Shannon Miller, who are better at the general trivia aspect. So that's where both of those teams actually were pretty evenly matched in terms of how the team structure came out, and it is remarkable. And I will actually probably directly give Christian credit for that matchup at that time when they filmed it. I would say he definitely saw that and went, yep, those two teams, those are the ones playing each other. It makes sense.
Well, that's part of the reason, like, for all of our social media when we were promoting that, like, all the social media, I was like, we have no clue who's going to win. This is way too evenly matched to figure out who could potentially win.
It's true.
Come watch our reaction to see how shocked we are that someone won instead of them, like, potentially going into sudden death and just answering questions back and forth for, like, the rest of eternity.
The only aspect of it that I think was a little off-center is just the fact that Adam Lavick does have experience in general trivia, at least in teams with Hector Navarro.
Yeah.
Where they have competed, they have done decent, but Adam Lavick still has that experience in general trivia. He's still shown that he's not to be trifled with. I mean, he's one of the ones that competed for movie release dates also, and he knows movie release dates. That is a category he's strong in. So that's where he edges out Jared Habon a little bit, especially only because we haven't seen Habon do general trivia ever before. So it's I think with more experience, Habon definitely gets better, and those teams become even more evenly matched. Which is why we were saying in the reaction, it'd be cool to see them match back up sometime down the line once they've both had experience and have worked together longer. So you have a situation where both these teams have promising futures in the Schmoedown. Provided the Schmoedown has a promising future this year.
But given this match, someone had to lose.
Of course, that's every
otherwise.
Match.
Well, I mean, talking about how these teams were so evenly matched.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen if one of these teams went up against someone that you would have been stronger at guessing, like, hey, I believe this team is actually going to win this one.
Yeah.
Instead of the confusion that we had when we were like, either one of these could win. I'm not sure who really has the edge here.
Yeah.
So, it'll be eager to see how either one of them perform going forward.
Yeah, and I like that. I wouldn't necessarily call it a name job, but the fact that we saw Jim Vevita at the Us
at South by
at the Us premiere. So it's like we he's there. He's just the same as a lot of these other movie pundits and everything. He's going to the screenings. He's seeing the new releases. He's doing all of that. Yeah, Gar says it was such bad timing that the Schmoedown gets sponsored by Skybound
really
and then everyone gets Homebound. The great thing about Skybound, though, in that situation is that I've definitely seen they are all on board. Even with the whole quarantine and isolation and everything right now.
Yep.
They aren't like, well, given the situation, this was not great timing, so we're gonna peace out, see you guys later, best of luck to you.
They're holding in there with the Schmoedown.
Not only that, they're sending people out there that they work with, like Attack Peter, to create specific designs for SCN with the Flirtenflaus and all of that, which, if all of that is foreign to you, just look up SCN Lives, the Flirtenflaus, and Attack Peter and all of that. Get on Twitter and search for that.
The Flirtenflaus.
Flousy. So, yeah, that's... Skybound strikes me as the type of company right now, especially with what they've done so far, that it doesn't matter if a meteor is going to crash into Earth. They feel pretty strong about Schmoedown. I know that doesn't really deter anything or change.
Well, just as long as Skybound also wants to send Bruce Willis up to outer space. I mean,
I always got to turn to a movie reference. Welcome to the movie channel.
We are the Cinefanatics.
TMC.
We're fanatics of cinema.
Yep, that's true.
We will make movie references at every occasion we can make a movie reference.
That is true. But yeah, that's actually what this situation is actually what makes me super comfortable with the fact that Skybound is partnered with the Schmoedown, because of just how they've been treating and one, how they've been treating the community that the Schmoedown has built, and how they've been working with the Schmoedown so closely this entire time.
Yeah.
I very much look forward to seeing the future of that relationship. What are you doing?
I bit my lip for no reason.
You're just trying to one up. You were in pain. I want to be in pain on camera too. I want all of the sympathy.
Yeah, well, you'll get it after I beat you at Infinity War and Endgame trivia.
It took so long trying to remember the names of those movies. Good lord, dude.
The Avengers trivia.
Guys, go ahead and drop in the chat right now. Send in Streamlabs. Drop in the chat. Send us some questions. We wanna chat with you guys. We want to talk with you guys. Any questions and anything you have. We're gonna kind of cover some plugs again real quick, but then we want to move on to questions and just talk with you guys in the chat. So
yeah, Patreon.
That's a thing. I need to make a tequila.
You need to make one of those. Yeah,
I need to make one of those. I need to make some social media posts about that.
There is a Patreon that we have for the Cinefanatics. The address is right. Oh, let me get the finger out of the logo there. That's the address. It's also down in the description. You put it in the description, right?
Yeah, it's down there.
Is it clickable?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
You can click on the address down in our description for this particular video. I don't know why I'm looking over here. Y'all are right there. You can click on that address down there.
We're right here.
I know.
We're right here. They're right there.
Could have sworn I learned this a long time ago, but...
Right there. There.
Uh-huh. So you just, if you're going to do that, you just need a point on the end.
Please stop putting your hand up. For the love of all things good and holy, please stop putting your hand up.
It's just really weird that you had that kind of intensity going into that camera. Anyways, you can join our Patreon. Pick the tier that's right for you. I want to go ahead and real quick call out who's on our Patreon right now.
Yes. Wow, this delay is crazy.
Yeah. We've got, so tonight we had Kelsey Kirkland join the Patreon. So thank you, Kelsey, for joining our Patreon.
Applause.
I am working on that. I just need to get the device that allows me to do that. So join the Patreon so I can get that device that allows me to do that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I would like to work on. Also,
send us money so we can buy things.
Also, this week we have had Garth McMurray has joined our Patreon. Garth has been a huge fan of us.
I gotta be honest.
From the very beginning.
I'm surprised Garth wasn't our first patron.
Well, I mean, it just have been a matter of potentially he just wasn't available at that time. That's fine.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I mean, he's in there as one of the first.
You know what? I'm glad
there.
that we have him. He's up there. He is supporting us, and we love Garth here. We love a Garth McMurray.
Yeah. I also want to call out Lucas Shashek has also joined our Patreon. Joe Elliott.
Lucas Shashek of the whatever northern...
The Call to Action Shasheks.
The Northern State Shashek. Yeah, the Call to Action Shasheks. I like that. Let's go with that.
Yeah. The Northern State Shasheks.
Whatever state it is, it's north of here.
Yeah. There's Joe Elliott, Jake Iacovetta, MovieFanobi, Tyler Schwent, and AJ Lancaster. Thank all of y'all for your patronage to us. It is absolutely amazing that we've got people that are becoming patrons of us. Like we said before, we are making a list of the first members to jump on our Patreon. There will be something later on down the line that we will do for...
Not next week.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is going to be a lot later down the line. But it is in our mind that those of y'all, regardless of what tier you jump on, just the first people who've jumped on our Patreon, we will definitely be honoring you in some form later down the line.
I got to be honest, that tequila is a slow burn.
It is. It kind of is.
It kicks in minutes after you're finished with it.
But I absolutely, I'm loving doing this live stream.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving it. I don't know if we can do that on copyright. Maybe because he sang it and I finished it, maybe it's okay, but I don't know. There's a part of me that's eager for when this
Add
is
us,
over.
Add us, JT. Not McDonald's, Justin Timberlake.
Oh, that's right, because he wrote that, didn't he?
Fun fact.
Not a fact that I think you actually need to know.
God, that's been McDonald's slogan for how long now?
A while.
Way too long. They need to change it up.
But I am also kind of like eager for this to end so I can go refill that glass. So, good night, everybody. Anyway,
no, not yet. Not yet. Again, send in some questions, guys. Ask us anything you want. We are here to chat with you for the last little bit of this stream here. Yeah, that Patreon, though. I am excited that we've started it. That is going to open up some new doors, some new avenues for other stuff that we want to do.
I'll be honest, it's already doing much better than I had anticipated.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. I love all of y'all because I'll be raw and real right now. I expected that
he's got tequila in him.
That's not the reason.
I just want to tell you, man. I don't know if anyone's ever told you this, but I love
you, man.
I love you, man.
I love you. I love that movie. That's a good movie.
That is a good movie. Slapping the bass.
Slapping the bass.
I haven't seen that in a while. I need to watch that.
That's a great movie.
I just don't like the puking scene, but whatever.
It's real quick. But no, I was expecting, honestly, like when we launched Patreon last week, that literally we'd have 3 people sign up for our $1 tier, and we're like, cool. I am stoked to make $3 a month because that's $3 more a month that we didn't have for this channel before. Awesome.
Yeah. I like it.
You guys killed it.
Here's the thing. Yeah, Patreon is based on the fact that like people are giving you money every month.
Yeah.
The thing is
supporting you creating because they love you and they want to support you.
Exactly. Here's the thing is that people are liking you enough to give you the money. They want to see you create more to develop this skill.
Yeah.
It's inspiring. It's another form of inspiration that makes you want to get up and create more every day. And I think that's definitely something we want to do as we move forward with this channel, with our own personal YouTube channels, as we are able to find time getting back into like vlogging, or if I want to make like comedy skits like I tried doing on my channel that one time.
It's really interesting though, because like the further we develop ideas and stuff for our own projects and stuff that you and I want to do separately, we are then able to create, say, Patreons for those specific projects also, which garner their own audience, their own supporters, and that just really helps to enforce that we can end up quitting jobs at some point.
Yeah, because I enjoy doing this.
Doing all content 24/7.
I absolutely love making stuff like this. So
yeah.
That and the videos, the video work, editing videos, making the thumbnails, it's absolutely relaxing. I enjoy the creativity aspect of it. So I have a lot of fun with that. It is something that I would like to continue doing. It would be great to be able to do that constantly.
Yeah, for sure.
Day in and day out. I don't feel like I would ever get bored doing that. So, question: when the Schmoedown gets back, how about a nuclear reactors faction? Here's the thing: I like this idea, but I feel like this would have to be first of all like a major heel faction, because it is completely made up of.
I mean, you've got to. It's hard to see late to the party as heels because they're just such nice people.
Well, everyone in there is, for the most part.
Vanessa and Robert are just the nicest people. Like, granted, Andrew Guy is a really nice dude. Also, he's a really great person. Mm-hmm. But he pulls off the heel so well that I can't actually see him portraying a face in the Schmoedown, even though he's, I guess, trying. But this faction, like, and then you got Abby. How do you make Abby a heel?
Pretty sure Abby could be a heel real easily.
I'm sure, like, if she goes like the sassy Stacey Howard route, that she can pull it off. But
the Albert, that's the one I'm like, how do you make Albert a heel?
He's got to do the shades also. He's got to do the same thing as everybody else, where he's just putting on the shades to kind of like just create a persona that's different from who he is as a person.
He would need to put on the shades, keep like his answers like really short, just be one of those that like he's not saying much just because he just really doesn't care about your thoughts, feelings, and opinions. He does what he wants to do, and he's just gonna move on.
He'd be. I mean, I see issues, but he would also essentially be the spiritual successor to Oyama's heel persona.
Yeah.
I could see that easily, where it's the I'm just focused. I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm confident. I'm cocky, and that would be how Albert. I wonder if Albert could do that though.
Yeah. So I like the idea, but the reason I'm saying this,
I'll be TikTok for real.
Yeah, the reason I say this needs to be a heel faction is because this is one of those where the faction just needs to create itself, and it basically would go into the Schmoedown going, forget, substitute another F word if you would like, but forget y'all.
You.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, forget y'all. We're going to be a faction whether you want us to be a faction or not. We are here to play.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a rebellious faction, maybe?
That is literally the faction that has a biggest chip on its shoulder.
Yeah. It would be fun.
Especially because late to the party, they won the match against Critically Acclaimed, and I don't think that they've won any other match.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, that is a faction filled with people who have like the biggest chips on their shoulder.
Which those two still have like massive amounts of knowledge.
Picture
It's back again.
I mean, I like the idea. The biggest issue is that outside of late to the party, nobody else is actually a part of the Schmoedown. So that's a lot of.
You're talking about creating a faction full of people who like, not free agents, not in the draft.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden are again that's another part of the reason why I'm saying that this is a heel faction is because again, forget the draft, we're going to form a faction ourselves with the people that we want and we're just going to play.
I'm not a strong fan of the idea that every rookie coming in is a heel though. I mean, you have your Brendan Myers, which I think was a refreshing fresh breath of air. I don't. There's a real analogy.
An air of fresh breath.
An air of fresh breath. Who is a breath of air fresh.
An air.
A fresh of air breath. I love that. Because every other rookie coming in, like your chances, your Oyamas, were coming in as a heel. You have Ben Goddard, who's coming in essentially as a heel. We're heels.
But again,
and all that.
The reason I like this is because it's a new faction. They're all heels. Everyone is heels for the same exact reason. There's unity within that faction. Everyone is strong.
Which, I mean, there's room because if you look at the situation where they've talked about, I don't know if it's like officially been talked about, but there's been talks of the most losingest faction at the end of each season.
Yeah.
Done. Let's say Finstock Exchange, for some odd reason, all of a sudden becomes complete loser faction the rest of the year. That's not going to happen. But it becomes
we're in a fantasy world.
Yeah. Oh, this is imagination land.
Yeah.
I want to use them though because it's just completely absurd the idea that they would be the most losingest faction by the end of the season. But imagine a world where Who's the Boss and Founding Fathers and everybody else is part of that faction has to split off and kind of completely break up, and then now you have room for a new faction. Now granted, is it made up of say members of the old faction, or are you bringing in new people, free agents, and new rookies? Don't know. There's a lot of interesting fun stuff that could happen there though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no to the idea of a reactor faction. I think all the individuals that Garth said here would actually be pretty decent. Like low-key, Abby is actually pretty decent at movie trivia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's gonna be one of the first ones to tell you no. But
and this is gonna go back to what I said. Even if they're not strong at movie trivia, the fact that they're all reactors, they're definitely knowledgeable in the game.
Yeah,
they know how the game is played.
Every single one of them. Yeah. I like the idea of Alex being a manager too, because I think she's got enough experience in the families of being a manager that. Mm-hmm. I think she honestly, like, even if she was managing Schmoedown pros, I think she would actually kill the game at being a manager.
Tyler said, and I heard the dude was put in the draft, but nothing came of it. I do believe Dale the dude was in the draft. I believe he's also a free agent right now.
I think we get to see more of him later still.
That would be awesome.
I think he's still got a pretty solid comeback coming. I know he's played that one match, but I think he's got some room to come back and actually do some cool stuff. Because I know he wasn't going to be at Spectacular, but I know that Christian reached out to him and invited him to Spectacular.
That's right, he was at Spectacular because we met him there.
Yep. Yeah. So I know that Christian really would like to see him succeed also, and so I think we definitely need to see more from Dale the Dude here at some point.
That's roughly gonna wrap it up.
Well, no, hold on a second. Garth asked, "Who would have thought that corruption would be? Who would have thought that corruption would be the faction in last place?" That's a very good question because, especially with Mike and Chance, who they've had the team's belts. Mike has been double belted. You would think with them kind of leading the faction, so to speak, that you wouldn't expect corruption to be in last place. But they've just had like some really bad luck, say, in their matches so far. Especially when you look at, say, like Claudia Dolph versus Warfather situation where Claudia Dolph, for all intents and purposes, should have won that match. She was on the track to win that match and just couldn't pull it out in those last few questions, and Warfather was able to capitalize and win it.
Here's the thing. Here's a flip side to Garth's question. Who would have thought the Droogs would have been doing as well as they are right now?
Excellent question, because everybody like going from the draft to this point was like, Robert Meyer Burnett, okay, he
got Ethan Irwin, good job.
He's a manager and kind of in face and personality alone. He doesn't really know the game that well, but dude drafted the right people who've been pulling out the right moves, maybe have stumbled upon the right luck, but also have, in the case of, say, like Deep 13, really knowledgeable players.
Who may still have something to do with the Apocalypse, apparently.
I don't know if we want to continue with
according to our reaction to their match.
Who would have known that we wanted to do an Apocalypse gag and then the Apocalypse happened?
So that's the fun thing with this is...
that's hilarious.
Like, we went into this year, like, okay, we're actually going to create, like, a storyline with our Schmoedown reaction. Yeah, well, no, that's not happening anymore, because, like, especially if the storyline was, like, gearing towards the apocalypse, and then the actual apocalypse is happening, so there's no amount of, like, special effects I can do to a video to match what's...
Well, we really can't do any special effects on a green screen to represent a virus anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could probably put, like, Night of the Living Dead and, like, Dawn of the Dead and some kind of zombie.
We can go the zombie route for sure. Let's see. AJ says, here's the real question. When is Koi going to add you guys to the Mercs roster? The issue with Koi, and I've heard him say this, and I think it's one of the things that's actually working against us specifically in most cases.
They're actually, like, realistically, there's a couple of reasons, but yeah.
And I think it's also going to be the same reason why a Roxy wouldn't draft us either. Roxy and Koi are both along the same lines as they want that face-to-face personal interaction. Like, we want to go get a burger with you. We want to sit down and we want to talk Schmoedown stuff over a good meal. You can't get a meal with somebody who's in a completely different state.
So, I mean, it's like we haven't really like hid this at all. We want to compete on the Schmoedown.
We live in Austin.
We want to be on the Schmoedown. It's a lot of fun playing, competing. The realistic nature of it is, one, yes, we're in Austin, Texas. We're not in LA.
So we have to.
So it's not necessarily easy for us to, at a drop of the hat, get out to LA. We have to have some notice.
We'd have to schedule at least a month in advance.
And then on top of that, the problem with putting us on a faction is you have to put both of us on. For the most part, you really can't.
We've got to make a team debut as Cinefanatics.
We really can't be drafted as individuals because
one of us could fly to LA and the other one could just stay home.
But then what? The problem with that is what happens when, like, say this weekend, Robert has a match, and then like 2 weekends from now, Chris has a match. Well, now we're talking about. I mean, there's no way one of us is going to LA without the other one going.
Especially if it's Schmoedown related. Like,
yeah,
the other one's definitely going to be in the audience as a support.
You have the logistics of the fact that both of us are having to constantly fly out to LA. It is more financial sense, and they know this. It's more financial sense from us.
Christian's not a dummy.
No, not at all. For us to drafted as a team.
Yeah.
That way we can both go out at the same time and compete at the same exact time.
That means we would actually have to make a free agent debut as a team that can be drafted as a team.
And I think that's
which is really hard because you're looking at rosters that are full up right now, and yeah, you would have to draft 2 players onto your faction. So you got at that point the only option is factions that have 2 spots available.
Yeah. And I don't know, like, it's been a while since I saw
which means whenever we do have a debut match, we got to be really good.
It's been a while since I've seen the draft list.
Yeah.
Of who all was a part of the draft, who all may still be free agents. But I don't know if there really was anyone else in, like, who's left in the free agents right now, with the exception of late to the party.
Yeah.
Who else is left that is a team? I
don't think any. I think because all the other teams either got drafted as a team or they were split up and put into different factions.
Wildberries.
Yeah, Wildberries. Movie guys. Looney Bin.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, again, most all of them live in L.A. It's easy for Paul Preston or Adam Witt to get to the studio to film a match with another team member without necessarily the other member there.
If you want to give to the Streamlabs or the Patreon links to help us move to L.A., we could use several $1,000s.
Yeah, we need to activate like $100 patron tier for that.
That's not a 100. That's a $5,000 Patreon tier.
That's a $5,000 patron tier.
First of all, you've got to cover the cost of us actually moving out there, and 2, we've got to at least have a couple of months.
So
covered.
we have 1.22 thousand subscribers. Who wants to join a $5,000 Patreon tier right now?
If you put it in the comments, we will make that Patreon tier. We will make it tonight.
If you build it, they will come.
If we build it, they will come.
Ain't
nobody's giving us $5,000.
No,
I don't expect
expect that. Completely just
so ridiculous.
Quick, next reaction video, do a scene with a utopian future. COVID-19 is eradicated and everything is back to normal.
Oh man, I would have to get my haircut for that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait till after Friday.
Yeah, to be fair, once again, I can take care of that Friday. Here's the thing: this nonsense. When this nonsense is taken care of, this nonsense will be taken care of.
And I don't know how much longer I'm gonna let my facial hair go.
When I get my haircut, I'll shave this off because short hair and this weird mess on my face doesn't really work.
AJ. That is quite possibly the best super chat I have ever seen. I have $3.
I love AJ.
AJ Lancaster, $2.99. I have $3.
AJ, here's the thing. Over on Action Industries, I know Ben has given you some crap before, but you are absolutely welcome here. I love that.
You are an absolute treasure.
I love
that's fantastic.
I know Ben supports him also, but I'm just
Garth McMurray. I'll give you $5,000 in $10 monthly installments. You know what? We would love to have you as a Patreon for that long.
You know what that just means? We need to be good with saving.
Yeah, that also means that Garth is going to be a Patreon of ours for 500 months. I believe is the math.
500 days of summer.
500 months.
500 months equates to how many years? A lot.
That's a lot of years. Yeah. So 500 divided by 12.
I can just assume that we'll have a YouTube channel if we're alive by then.
It would be nice to have that kind of job security. Name that movie.
Let's do the math. For funsies. I mean, I know we should end this, but
I don't have to work tomorrow, so I mean, I can keep going.
That is 41 years. You'll be dead.
Wow, you're Mr. Positivity over there.
Well, hey, you know.
At least I'm still going to beat you in Infinity War and Endgame before I pass.
Hold on to whatever you need to hold on to keep you going there. Well,
that'll be on my gravestone. At least I beat my brother in Infinity War and Endgame.
There is a chance you could still be alive. You'll be too old to run a YouTube channel, but you'll still be alive.
I don't know. You want to see like geezer YouTube movie? I remember back in my day when Tom Cruise like flew out to outer space for a movie. That was making a movie. All you people in your CGI special effects nowadays.
You sitting there making movies over on planet Xenar 4, and we just were focused on just getting to space.
I remember back then when the CGI dinosaurs looked like they weren't even in the movie.
Garth says he'll be 93 and still going. I actually fully believe that.
You know, I would love
100%.
to see that, Garth.
I think
93 and still going. That's amazing.
Garth will outlive you.
Yeah, at that point.
I have full faith.
So I'm going to have some more tequila.
Yeah, so he's going to have more tequila to ensure that fact. And do we have any last minute plugs? I don't think we have any more questions here.
So I think if that wraps up all the questions, we took care of Patreon. The only thing left really to plug is this coming Thursday over on Video Drew's channel. There is the Video Chronic pop culture quiz. We've been referencing it throughout this live stream, but both me and him over there.
That's me. I'm him over there.
I have to figure out how the pointing goes because of the camera situation.
Hi,
him over there.
That's not Chris Adams. That's him over there.
Yes,
him over there MLP.
That will be. We will be competing in a Cinefanatics Civil War. Just rolls right off the tongue.
Sure.
Going on against. We will be answering questions about Infinity War. We need to end this. I'm just tired.
As much of a civil war could exist for two people who live in the same exact apartment and are brothers and are going to be okay.
Or already fighting over who does the dishes next.
Once the video's over. Yeah, I did it today. It's your turn.
Screw you. I'm going to beat you at Endgame and Infinity War questions.
No, I don't think you will.
Nice. Very nice. No, I don't think I will. Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you go hop over to Video Drew's YouTube channel, subscribe. She is like within like less than 60 subscribers. She needs to hit that 1,000.
I think she was...
For those of y'all not familiar with how YouTube works, you have to hit 1,000 to start
more?
being monetized. I believe 1,000 subscribers, 40,000 hours.
Garth put her subscriber base at 944 earlier, so she's got about 56 more.
Yeah, so
Math.
Hop over to Video Drew's YouTube channel.
Tequila.
Yeah. Go subscribe, help her out. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got 40 questions that you and I have to plow through. You think you can do it?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Very easily.
I don't think so.
I can plow through most... I'm not going to continue that.
I think you're going to give up halfway and call her mom and just like, my brother.
It's like you don't even know me. It's like you don't even know me.
At all. I don't think you know anything about this.
No, I'm going halfway through. I'm going to call your mother and tell her she needs to come pick up her little boy because he's crying because I'm beating him so bad.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was supposed to make a stupid smack talk. I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to call mom and say she needs to come pick up her me.
My cat's going to put a hairball in your bed later.
She's not allowed in my room.
She's going to poop on your pillow.
Why is this video still going?
I don't know. Tequila! No,
Danny's still here.
It's not because of that, but I mean, I like to think it is. Anyway, so, yeah, go over, check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That's happening on Thursday.
I'm tired.
Stay tuned to this channel. We're going to be doing some Schmoedown reactions. I know that Christian just announced today they're going to be putting 2 of those Patreon matches, 2 of the exhibition matches live on the channel, as well as there's going to be an Inner Geekdom tournament. So yeah, we got some stuff that we're going to be reacting to. We actually haven't watched any of those exhibition matches yet, just because of time reasons. So we are going to have to jump on a couple of those because we will be releasing those reactions as well publicly when the matches themselves get released publicly. So stay tuned to this channel. I think we've got some. We should do like movie reviews and stuff still. I know there's no movies coming into theater right now, but we should honestly, like, I know I'm saying this like live on air, but we should really watch that Extraction movie on Netflix and maybe do a review of that.
So I saw Fiddler on the Roof, and I highly recommend that movie. It was
Boom, got it,
fantastic.
Nailed it.
So y'all need to go check out Fiddler on the Roof. It's available on Amazon Prime. if you're subscribed to Amazon Prime.
Stay tuned to this channel. Hit the Patreon up if you haven't joined. See if there's any tiers that you like there.
I was a rich man.
We will be putting posts up on Patreon here pretty soon about Schmoedown reaction of the month and movie watch along of the month. And we'll be doing some fun things there, and you can jump on there and help us help fund new ideas and new projects that we might be wanting to work on this channel here in the future. So
yeah, let's hurry up and end this before the echo comes back.
Yeah, for sure. Otherwise, there's links and stuff. There's you can reach us on the Twitters and the Instagrams down there. And facebooks.com/the groups and all this stuff. So there's all the things that you can follow us.
Make sure you follow us.
I'm a pro at plugs.
Yeah, make sure you follow us Twitter, Instagram at CineFanaticsMLP. You've got our Twitter handles and Instagram handles right there below us. Make sure you follow us on Facebook.com/group/CineFanatics. And again, subscribe at Patreon.com/CineFanatics.
Yeah, it goes back.
And the back, it goes back already.
So stop talking real quick. I want to say what Garth said real quick, and then we can end it. Hey, if I can win a Video Chronic Pop Quiz, so can you guys. Oh, wait, Robert did beat me. And the Barbarian at the Small Soldiers one. That's right. You have beaten the Barbarian at something.
Yeah. So, that's it. We're going to go ahead and end this. We will see y'all next week and in a Schmoedown reaction. Y'all all have a fantastic night, and we will see y'all later.
See ya.
I forgot how we end this. Do I play the music again?
You just end it.
Oh, I just end it?
Yeah,
oh, okay. So just hit this end string?
Yeah.
How come these things are always so awkward? I mean, they've always got to be awkward for us. Why don't we just